Hello there, welcome to Listen Gamer Podcast, the number one podcast in the world right now. And that is not fake, I promise. I'm King Crazy and I'm joined by
Ryan, or otherwise known as Imberbis and Yes Crew.
the lovely Ryan, shall we say.
Yes.
So we got a few topics.
Cutie.
We got a few topics today. We're going to be talking about some TV shows that should have been cancelled or should have gone on a bit longer. So I've wrote a few of mine down, which you've seen, but I haven't told you whether they should have gone on for longer or whether or not
I'm
they should.
curious.
So I'll take the first one, The Simpsons. Do you think that I say that they should have quit a long time ago, or should they keep going?
To be honest with you, I think The Simpsons should keep going. They're always funny to watch, and they've never got bad. But it's sort of a case of with a lot of animated TV shows, they can get away with it because they can mix it up a lot. They can add new characters in, and it doesn't really have to make sense. There's not like a whole continuous storyline that's going on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally get you. But I'm sorry. As much as I like The Simpsons growing up, as much as I like the movies, as much as I love the game, I found myself, I was compelled to watch. I needed to watch it when I was a kid. I loved it. And when I grew up and all the sexual innuendos and all that kind of stuff that they have in yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's really good. But it's kind of boring and stale. I see it on the TV. My daughter watches it sometimes whenever it's on and stuff, if she's in between episodes of Criminal Minds or whatever she watches. And she watches it and I'm like, this is boring. This isn't what it used to be like. Maybe one or two episodes out of the entire season is good. But I just don't feel, I think I
think I can tell you why as well.
Because I've grown up.
No. There's a lot of things The Simpsons used to be able to get away with that they now no longer can because they like to keep their content family friendly.
Well, I mean, they do have a lot of sexual innuendos. Maybe I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's the political correctness and stuff that they have to go along with. I think it's more that it's just got stale.
Because of the way they try to keep their content family friendly and all the rest of it, they tone down a lot of the things in the show, and it sort of narrows the market for themselves on what they can and can't say and what they can and can't get away with, which is just getting even more and more narrow as time goes on and people get more politically correct and everyone gets offended on everyone else's behalf all the time.
No, I understand that. I don't know. I just don't like it anymore. It's run its course. I enjoyed Futurama. Futurama was kind of cool for a while.
See, I see where you're coming from, but
you're wrong.
I would
Simpsons.
I would humbly disagree.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I can appreciate that it can get stale at times.
Yeah,
and there are a few of the newer episodes where you're like, these jokes have been made before over and over again.
Or you can telegraph what's going to happen.
Yeah, but there are some episodes where they do pull it out of the bag still, and you have an excellent episode.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The odd occasion there's a good episode, or the odd occasion there's something The Simpsons says or predicts or whatever, and then a couple of years down the line, people bring up this episode of The Simpsons. For example, when Trump won the election or something, and he was going down the escalator, waving his hand and whatever, everyone was there, and The Simpsons predicted that how many years ago?
Oh, years.
Yeah,
years.
That's what I mean. And they predicted the Twin Towers, they predicted loads of different things. So
yeah,
when those
it's kind of scary to be honest.
For the accuracy of it, it is extremely scary. He's verified Time Lord. He is.
Yeah.
He's got the Time Stone or something. But
Doctor Strange just went on a mad one. It was like, I'm going to make an animated TV series called The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. And then even rub it even more in our face by making Futurama. It's the same guy.
I did start falling out of love a little bit with The Simpsons, until they released the Simpsons movie.
Yeah, the Simpsons movie brought it back for me. I did enjoy it,
Yeah,
especially because of the NSA and what happened. Like a few years
yeah.
later, it came
The
out that the
Dome.
NSA was spying on us.
Yeah,
Wait a minute,
yeah.
the dome. Thinking of the dome, right? Is that the lockdown?
Pretty
And
much,
like, is that this whole COVID thing with like the
pretty
dome that
much.
they had? There was the NSA spying on us, and then they were just all
They
locked in
just
the
done a
dome.
dome over the whole of the USA.
Yeah, they domed the entire USA and just locked them down. They couldn't get out. That's what this fucking COVID
Yeah.
thing's about, dude.
Gee, I didn't even think of it that way
It
either.
it just came into my head. Like they've just
Jesus.
they predicted COVID too.
Uh, to be fair to The Simpsons, like, they have been going for 32 years.
I know it's madness. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So I think they've been around long enough now that they should stay. But in stark contrast to The Simpsons with that, it has to be South Park.
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
Stay or go.
I don't really watch it. Like I watched it when I was like quite young, and
Mm,
the funny thing is I first got into South Park with the movies.
yeah,
Like on VHS, I had there was like two of them. I think there was a red cased movie and a green cased movie. I think,
yeah.
and the one that I vividly remember is Terrence and Phillip when they went to war or something, and like I think Adolf Hitler was having sex with the devil, like in it, and
Yeah,
I was really
it's
fucking young, and I was like, what the fuck's
yeah,
going
it's
on?
that is South Park, the first movie. So when I was a kid, my mum took me to one of her friends' houses, and she had a son who was a little bit older than I was.
Yeah,
Um, so we'd done the typical thing of mum's going to have a cup of tea. We went and played games in his room and stuff. And
yeah.
he was like, "Oh, have you ever seen this?" And put the South Park movie on. My mum was not impressed. Not impressed at all. And I'm just running around going, "Well, Carl's mum was a bitch to be a bitch."
That's
But just
honest. It's amazing.
what an incredible series. And
It's just
I don't watch
memories.
it religiously, but whenever it does come on, or when if I want to watch something that's really tongue in cheek, funny,
Yeah,
like, I will go to South Park. Like, they have absolutely no fear or care for who they offend, and they will just go out and make a funny cartoon,
yeah.
and I appreciate that.
And there's three cartoons that do that for me.
Yeah.
South Park. Like I admittedly I haven't watched South Park for maybe 3 to 4 years.
Mm.
I remember I was working in a call center at the time, so it may have been longer because I always get my dates mixed up. But
So,
uh,
with that being said, is it safe to say you haven't seen the COVID episode?
I haven't.
Oh my god, you need to watch the COVID episode.
So yeah, it was at the time there was a new season out, and essentially, long story short, you know about my illness. So I was taking this medication that absolutely wiped me out. It was the wrong medication, but I was sleeping for about 18 hours a day. When I was trying to get used to this medication, when I was awake, there was like a new. I was just in bed constantly anyway, so I was watching South Park, and there was the new South Park episodes, and they were great. Like I loved them. Like I didn't get bored of them. I binge watched them to a point where I was waiting on the new episodes, and the new episodes weren't coming out until the next week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I can't say that I want it to stay or go, but I think I'm more towards staying. The simple fact I do enjoy it when I do watch it, and it is new, and like you said, they don't give a shit. Uh, on the other hand, there's three cartoons, like I said, that I immediately go to if I would like a laugh. South Park is one of them. The
Yeah.
second one is another obvious, Family Guy. Like Family Guy, I know some of the jokes are a bit weird or stale or whatever, but for the most part, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like whenever I watch it, like
Mm.
Stewie, uh, bloody Peter and Chris, like the jokes that they make with Herbert the pervert,
Mm.
Quagmire. It's just a good giggle. And the third one is Rick and Morty. Like
Oh, Rick and Morty is always a pleasure.
yeah, it's always good. I was like, I was watching the other day, and like for all of the episodes that I watched, right, that I made a big boo boo. Like I'll hold my hands up to this. I made a massive boo boo. Like I said to my daughter, I said, "Oh, can you put Rick and Morty on for me, ready for when I come? So when I come in, I watch it." I said, "Yeah, no worries. I'll go upstairs." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, I'm not allowed to watch it," which quite rightly so. I've said that
Mm.
she can't watch it, but the last few episodes that I've watched haven't been anything that she hasn't already seen in terms of like violence or like
Yeah.
graphic. But it's a cartoon, so it's like aliens, so it's fine. Like she watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and that is a very dark film, fantastic film, but it is quite dark and it can be
I'm
quite
so
gory.
happy that that's on Disney, by the
Yeah, same. Like, she's already watched it again,
way.
but and I wanted to watch it, but she already beat me to it. But essentially, so I was thinking like, can she watch it? Can't she? And I remembered. I thought, you know what? Like, yeah, you can watch. Like, we'll see how it goes, but you can watch this episode with me to see if like it's thingy. But because the previous episodes that I've watched, there wasn't anything sexual in there. Like maybe
Yeah.
there was the one or two innuendos or jokes or something, but there wasn't anything graphically sexual or anything like explicitly sexual. It was more of the gun violence or like, well, the laser violence and all that kind of stuff that I could
Yeah.
remember. But we all know my memory is kind of shocking. So
Yeah.
I put in the episode. And I shit, within about 5 minutes, dude. Within about 5 minutes, I was like, okay, we're not watching this. It's turning off.
Time to turn it off.
Time to turn it off. And like I watched, it was when Morty landed his ship in the sea, and then the marine guy, the marine fish dude, I can't remember his name,
Oh, that
Mr.
one.
Nimbus or something.
Yeah.
Like, and he had to invite him over to Rick's place and like give him a
Yeah.
thing. And like later on in the episode, when she wasn't there, I was like, oh shit, like I really know why she can't watch this now. And like, I'm so glad I didn't put it on. And like, what was it? Jerry was like saying, "Oh, this is your nemesis. Like, I've seen you like,
Yeah.
I've seen you fuck a planet." And I was like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
and like
Oh no,
this,
turn it
yeah.
off, turn it off.
I was like, "This is your nemesis. I'm gonna call the police." And it's like, Jerry, don't. He owns the police, and then he was like, the police came, and it was a funny joke. He said, "Oh,
He's
like."
just-
What are you? I don't see what that matters, but I'm white. And then instantly the police shown up. Like, yeah, that was a funny joke because of what it's like. But then the Mr. Nimbus dude says, now fight. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, he does control it. And then he went, now fuck. And they just dropped their pants and just start. I was like, oh, shit, no. But like the one time, like I'm fairly certain that there was going to be nothing. Everything in that episode was fucking sexual, dude.
I think the only episode that's worse than that, I don't think it's even worse than that, is do you know the Inception episode
Oh, the
where they go
one
into the
later on.
dreams.
Oh, which one?
So when they meet Scary Terry,
Oh, I can't remember
so
that one.
they're trying to get Morty an A in math. So he goes into his teacher's dreams.
Wait, Scary Terry isn't that like Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, knock off Freddy.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
So they go into their teacher's dreams. Um, they have to go into people's one of the people in his dreams. They go into her dream,
Yeah.
so like into a deeper state of his dream, and they eventually they end up in this like hypersexual space where everyone's like dressed up in BDSM and all the rest. And
Yes, I remember that one now.
summer comes up.
Wait a minute. I just remembered. I think is it. I know it's in Men in Black, but does Terry have balls for a chin? I'm sure he
I
has
don't think
testicles.
so.
I'm sure he has testicles on his chin.
I think he's got a chunky chin. I don't think it's testicles.
Right. Okay. I might be mixing up with Men in Black then, but
The ball chinian.
yeah, the ball
Well,
chinian. Oh, actually, you know what? I've just
I don't
googled
know.
it. No, he does. He
Yeah,
has testicles on his chin.
yeah, that is a full on set of testicles. I've
Yeah.
never noticed that until you said that.
Yeah, it just came to my head. But yeah, it was like bloody hilarious episode. It's fantastic. When
Mm.
you said the Inception episode, I thought you was meaning like a few episodes past the Mr. Nimbus, and when Morty went to work with his mum in the vets, in the horse vet, whatever, and there's a insemination chamber
Yeah.
where
Oh.
it basically wanks the horse off,
Oh no.
and then Morty gets pleasured by the horse inseminator, and
That Morty face, the little sus face Morty does is incredible.
oh,
Just
it's brilliant.
oh my god.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was like that's what I mean. Like things like that, they're just like outlandishly weird and just downright
Yeah.
dirty at times. And it was
That
just
that's another thing though. I don't think Rick and Morty could go for anywhere near as long as what South Park and Simpsons is.
maybe not, but it does depend because they're pushing the boundaries all the time with some of their jokes and stuff. Like
Yeah. It depends, and purely, I think the reason The Simpsons and South Park have gone on for so long is they continuously, over the years, expanded their universe and had all these sort of side characters that they could pull into stories and leave them out of stories, and it didn't make too much difference to the main cast. Whereas, like Rick and Morty is like they might have the odd person here or there, but it's typically about Rick, Morty, some of the family life.
yeah, this the same with the Simpsons though, isn't it? And it is the same with South Park. I think the reason for their longevity, personally, is because they were around in like the 90s, and they sort of where political correctness wasn't so crazy. I
Yeah.
think because they started then and they had all of these like dark humor jokes, or they had these edgy jokes and stuff like that, they were able to sort of
Mm,
try and, because they had such a massive following from that, the children that used to watch it in the 90s now watch it in the 2000s and still watch it in the 2010s and still watch it in the 2020s. So
yeah.
they've got a loyal audience to start with, but then they're also picking up from the families of the children that used to watch it back in the 90s, in the
Yeah.
2000s, and it's like evolved with time. And as political correctness have gone more and more strict with what they can and what they can't air, or what they can and cannot say, and that kind of stuff,
Mm,
they've sort of tweaked it and evolved it ever so slightly across the years,
mm.
trying to fly close to the sun without getting
The
burnt.
the only ones that don't are South Park. They'll release what they want.
Yeah. Like I remember they got in so much fucking trouble like a few years back for something, but they just didn't care.
I really need you to watch the COVID episodes. You'll absolutely love them.
I'll
They're
take a look.
brilliant.
I'll definitely take a look.
There's one scene, and if I'm remembering this rightly, someone breaks like the lockdown rules,
Yeah.
and there's like 20 police there just shoot the shit out of him, and he's dead on the floor.
Jesus.
And they're like, "You killed him," and they were like, "No, he died because of COVID." And they're like, "But he didn't have COVID." He was like, "It's COVID related."
Yep. That's so fucking true though, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember like when it all first started going on, and I was seeing these videos. I'm fairly certain it was in China, but they were locking people in their houses with chains on their doors and stuff and padlocks on their doors.
Yeah.
And then people that they were seeing in the street, they were spraying them with disinfectant. Like
Yeah.
you know like the weed killer sort of spray bottles that you can get, like the ones you pump and then you hold the nozzle and then you can like spray the nozzle.
Yeah.
They were going around with those, spraying people with
Yeah.
disinfectant or bleach or whatever was in the streets. It was crazy. Like mad, absolute madness. But I think the South Park episodes would be a good thing to watch with Queen, especially the fact that you said it's COVID related or whatever
Yeah.
that scene, because something like that actually happened in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got shot, I think, or stabbed, and even though they died through the gunshot, they put it down to COVID.
Yeah.
Like, and everything was put down to that. Even
Yeah,
before
there's loads
before
of
we
it.
had
It's
tests,
hilarious.
it's silly. It really is silly.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. Is Cartman doing homeschooling?
Oh
He
god.
keeps like stopping himself and just going, that And then, "Oh, Cartman is fine. Just put yourself on mute and sit there and watch the class." And he pulls out a picture of himself sat at the table, then puts it in front of the camera so it looks like he's there and goes back to bed.
Genius, dude, genius.
He's brilliant. Oh, he's brilliant.
So, what do you think about Breaking Bad? What do you think I think that should have done? Do you think I should? Do you think I feel it should have gone on for longer or not as long?
I think Breaking Bad tied itself up nicely. I don't think it should have gone on longer, but I kind of wish that it did at the same time. But then this is what this is why I sort of wanted to talk about stuff to do with this, because there's certain TV shows like Breaking Bad where I feel like I'd have loved for it to gone on longer because it was such a good series.
Yeah.
But I think they done well to tie it up when they did, because with it continuing on, I don't think there was much more they could have done with it, and it
S-
might have got stale.
You see, I think they could have gone on a little bit longer. Maybe one more series, like with Jesse or something, just like going off doing his own thing.
Well, they did the El Camino in the end, which
That
was
and Better
okay.
Call Saul is not good. Like I couldn't watch it. And there was another one, another spin-off series as well that I couldn't get into. Uh,
I'm not sure. I know Better Call Saul. I started watching Better Call Saul, um, but apparently with Better Call Saul, it actually gets a lot better after like 2 or 3 seasons.
that's a lot of time to invest for it to get good, though.
I know, but it's like those seasons are necessary because it builds the world that Saul come from and shows you how he became the lawyer that he did.
Yeah,
But then after, like, I think it's in season 2, he starts meeting, like, Mike, and then you see him dealing with Mike and stuff, and then he gets involved with Gus, and you see him going down that sort of road, so it sort of sets the background for Breaking Bad.
yeah. So I do kind of when I try to watch follow-on series or prelogue, is it prelogue? I think it is prelude series. To things,
Prequels.
prequels. That's the one. Yeah. Uh, I do try and go in there with a level head, but
Yeah,
with a series as good as Breaking Bad, I don't feel as if I could do that. No matter how much I tried, like I couldn't go into Better Call Saul and whatever else it was and be like, this is not Breaking Bad. This is a different series altogether. I couldn't stop
yeah,
thinking, associating it with Breaking Bad because it is before Breaking Bad. And
yeah,
I think that's another reason why I couldn't get on with it.
yeah. I think the thing with Better Call Saul was they could like they were set in the background for how he got to where he was and all the rest of it,
Yeah,
but there could have been a lot more nods to Breaking Bad to tie it into the series.
just to like
Like,
maybe
even
keep
just
you
the odd
hooked.
like, just names thrown around that, like, you know it in Breaking Bad, like Tuco being thrown around and certain family names being thrown
Like
around, and
Hector and stuff.
yeah. So, like, that would have been cool for them to involve, because he was in and out of, like, a big law firm to start off with,
Yeah,
and, like, they would have been dealing with cases to do with that. So to have that going on around him would have been better, I think.
quite possibly, yeah. But I think Breaking Bad may have been able to go on for at least maybe one more season, just to be like
What
Jesse's.
what what would they have done? Like, we
s-
don't even know if Walter's dead, essentially.
I don't think he is. Didn't they do a Breaking Bad film?
I don't know.
I'm fairly certain
Did
that
they?
you know Threat Designs. I'm fairly certain that he told me that they did a Breaking Bad film.
Yeah, the film they done was El Camino, but they still never confirm whether Walt died or not. It's all about Jesse essentially getting out of the country and shit like that.
Right. Okay. Then so that's pretty much what I was gonna say that they could have done. So if they've already done that with a movie, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because we still haven't
Yes,
watched it yet.
eh, um, it's an okay watch if you've got nothing else to watch, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it again.
So yeah, so Walter apparently dies from the wounds. I think right. He got shot or something.
Well, that's it's what they imply, but they never specifically say that he's dead.
Yeah.
So I think the only way that they could have carried on that Breaking Bad season would have been for Walter possibly using that to fake his death, to then carry on the business sort of like a Gus, but like from the
Just
shadows.
be a shadow, yeah. Just to be like a silent thing.
Just whispers and rumors and having Jesse like sort of find out and then track him down.
And then be like, yo, Mr. White, you're earning all this money without me, bitch. Where's my cut? It's 50-50, bitch.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I get it. That's if
because like
they'll
Hank was dead, wasn't he?
yeah, I didn't like him to begin with anyway.
He was okay. He was a general cop, wasn't he? Really, he
Yeah,
was just your typical American cop.
yeah. Typical American jock, kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
big
He was
big
okay. He
chonkus
played
like to
his
throw
role.
his muscle around like.
Skylar done my head in.
Yes. I did not
Like
like her at all.
there's being a bitch, then there's being like a super ultra mega bitch, then there's Kyle's mom, and then there's Skylar.
I like the callback. I can appreciate the callback.
Yeah,
Yes.
like
Do
yeah,
you
definitely.
do you have any others? Because I've got a few that I just want to quickly just
I'm
go
I'm
through.
looking at the couple that you've got. I've got one in. I got one or two. So there's Bones.
I've not seen that one. I've
So
heard of it though.
she's a forensic anthropologist. This is right up Duck Street with Queen.
Yeah.
So she can sort of like she reads bones basically.
So she's like
Which
a human X-ray person.
no. So like
Oh
like
wait,
a paleontologist
so
would like read a dinosaur's bones.
yeah, I just thought the way you said that, like she reads bones. I just thought she had X-ray for eyes. So basically, what you mean, like she sees like these decomposed bodies, and she,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
right, okay, I get you now.
So
I'm
she
on your
can
way,
say
bruv.
like she can look at a certain fracture and tell you exactly how that fracture would have happened and the amount of pressure that would have been needed for it,
Yeah,
down to the point where she can tell where a person grew up when they were a kid based on the density of their bones and some of the vitamins in it and stuff like that.
right, okay, that's a bit
So
freaky.
yeah. So she gets essentially hired by the FBI to like assist on cases,
Yeah,
but her thing of it is like she has the deal with the FBI. She doesn't wanna work for them in the
mhm.
start, but she wants to be able to do, like, field work. She wants to go out and see the crime scenes and all the rest of it, so she says, like, "As long as I can be a field agent and not just sat in the lab and you bring me stuff, then I'll agree to it."
That's fair enough. So,
But she's got, like, a little team behind her, which is it starts off really cool, but it goes on for, like, 15 series,
holy damn, okay. So it's
and
kind of like Criminal
the
Minds then.
yeah.
So it's
So
she's
it's really cool.
so what you've described to me is pretty much like she's the Penelope Garcia of
Yeah,
Bones.
yeah,
Whereas she's like the Hackermans of the group. She's the boner of the group. She's the, you know what I mean. She's
yeah.
the
She's the bone.
that came out just so wrong, didn't it?
It's weird, like, it's her character development is massive, but, like,
Yeah,
she's, like, a best-selling author and stuff like that. Alongside doing this, she writes murder mysteries herself, so, like, one of the series is, these murders are happening, but they're following her, like, murder mystery novel, and
yeah.
they're recreating the murders that she's wrote about,
Okay.
which then makes her a suspect.
See, that seems pretty cool. I'll put a pin in that one because it's on Disney Plus, I believe. I'm just looking now, and it says it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So we
It's
should.
one I will go back and watch it, and it's one of those things, how can I say this? Do you know the series, like, when they go on for too long? So, like, you get to, like, season 6 to, like, season 9,
Yeah,
and they just go really shit,
I see what you did there, by
essentially.
the way.
What? I really didn't mean that.
You
But it
dirty
is,
boy.
like, there's seasons in the middle that are just awful.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Then they
the fly
sort of,
episode.
like, start to bring it back. But
Yeah,
I found, what happened is a lot of these series went downhill when there was the writers' strike.
I was just about to say, yeah, because the same thing happened with Breaking Bad, wasn't it? When the fly episode, there was just one episode where there was this damn fucking fly in the lab, and Walter
I,
spent the entire episode. Like, I remember the first time me and Queen watching it, we was like,
I'm
"Is this
sorry.
is this all that's gonna
Uh,
happen?" No,
I'm sorry, but that's one of my favorite episodes because it's so fucking relatable.
nah, dude, it's
It is
like,
so relatable. If there's a fly and I'm trying to do something and it's bugging me, I will try everything to kill it.
no, I
100%.
I know. I was like changing the bed and cleaning the room like once in a blue moon, right? I do that every so like 10 years or so. Ask my wife. But when I do eventually do it, like it was a couple of weeks back, and this fucking it was huge. I swear to God, it was like the size of a 5 pence piece. Like it was
Mm,
massive. This fly was just going round, and I was trying to hit it with my sneak bottle. I couldn't get it. Then I was trying to hit it with my phone and stuff. I've got some towels, a pillow, just couldn't
yeah,
get it. And this little fucker was there for like 2 or 3 days. Well,
yeah,
big fucker, but it was just so annoying. But like to sit through, like me and Queen, we used to binge watch it through the night, and it was must
yeah,
have been like gone 12, 1 o'clock in the morning when we was watching this particular fly episode,
yeah.
and we were like, "Is this it? Like, is he just going to be chasing the damn fly?" So I paused it to find the episode number, and we was like 20 minutes, half an hour into it at this point, and I was like, Google, what is like episode and whatever season, whatever the episode, and it comes up, and it turns out the episode is called The Fly, or like Fly or something, and I was like, what the
Yeah,
hell? So I was reading the synopsis of it, and it just said uh that there was like a writer's strike, so that's the reason why it was. So dull
yeah.
us, well, dull us. I said, dull me. I said, do you want to just continue watching it just in case something happens that we
Just in case.
just in case we need to know. So we watched the other like half of the fucking episode of the fly episode. There was literally nothing there. It was bloody awful, dude. And then when we rewatched the entire thing over again, I was like, we are skipping that fucking fly episode. so so
uh,
so that's pretty much what like season 6 to 9 of Bones is. It's like the fly episode during that entire time.
don't like there's a couple of good episodes in this. So the thing with Bones is like you can watch each individual episode and you'll have like a gist of what's going on. There's a couple of two-parters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like there's an overwhelming like there's an underlying theme for each season at the same time.
Right.
There's
Okay.
like a hidden I want to say evil villain, but there's a hidden villain through sort of throughout the series that is sort of there. But like sometimes the payoff is really good, sometimes the payoff just doesn't hit the mark at
Yeah.
all.
That's fair enough.
Um yeah. So another one like that for me is Dexter.
See, we started watching it. That's the thing. We started watching Dexter. Maybe we watched 1 or 2 episodes, but then I think at the time we was watching Breaking Bad and Prison Break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were watching too many things at once. So I would like to watch that. So do you
I would
think,
highly recommend Dexter. Um
but the question is, do you think there should have been more?
I wanted more
But
because I loved it.
but you
But
think it did.
no, like what they done in the end with Dexter, I'm not sure. I don't really want to spoil it for you, but
Dude, I'll forget. You know that.
yeah.
Like there's a high chance of me forgetting what you're gonna say.
Well, the thing is, in the end, right, is that the series ends with Dexter sailing off in his boat to the eye of this massive storm, basically,
Okay.
and it was implied that he was going to die in this, and then at the very end, they show him living in a completely different country um, as a lumberjack,
So
or
essentially, he faked his death.
looking like a lumberjack, essentially. So I haven't actually watched the latest series, but I think it got to a point where um, so much had happened around him and to him that it was like, come on, like someone's got to put the pieces together now that something's fishy about Dexter,
Right. So it
and it
wasn't.
got a
Yeah.
bit. it got a bit too much that they didn't wonder why everything seemed to happen to him or around him, or he always seemed to be in the right place at the right time and stuff like that. And it was just like it got a bit too much in the end.
Yeah, so it was kind of
And
like
it's
Fast and Furious of like that kind of stuff.
yeah. But it was sort of like he he could have continued and they could have carried the series on, but he needed to not be in Miami in the starting city where he was. Like he needed to get away from that.
He needed a fresh start, essentially.
Yeah. Like the amount of people over the years and over the series that die around him or are killed by him
Yeah.
is unbelievable. And the amount of times that he was potentially a suspect
Hmm.
or like nearly got caught out in such weird circumstances of why he was where he was and or how he got to somewhere so quickly was just insane. But then
Yes.
his character development was really good as well.
I think I'm starting to think. Did he start off like in a docks or something? Loki had like a ship, like not a ship,
Yeah,
like a boat. Because
yeah.
was it meth or something that they were cooking?
No,
There was another TV series that I was watching at the same time as Dexter.
no, meth was Breaking Bad.
No, I know meth was Breaking Bad.
Dexter just finds bad people and chops them up into little pieces and sticks them in black bags
Because that
and
was their
puts them in the
dad,
bottom
wasn't
of the
it?
ocean.
It was his dad that showed him how to do it. Or like his dad worked with something.
So
Or am I thinking of a different series and I'm just merging all three of them together?
no, no, you are right in that sense. But like it's a sort of later reveal as well, but the reveal doesn't really change much. So his his dad isn't his dad.
Right.
This is revealed season one, so it's like really it's not really
It's
like
early
too much
on.
of a
Yeah.
spoiler. Yeah. So he was adopted after his mum was killed, and his dad who adopted him is the cop that found him.
Yeah.
So he was found in a shipping container where she'd basically been chopped up with a chainsaw and he'd been left sat there in her blood.
Jesus.
Yeah. Which is why they thought he was a bit psychotic. So when his dad starts to find out that he has like these tendencies to like kill animals and stuff, he starts to like try and put him off it and all the rest of it. And then he realizes that he can't really stop him from killing things and he's only going to end up killing people.
Yeah.
He goes to this psychologist who appears like in like season 7 or something like that. It's like miles down the road you find out about her. But she essentially helped him come up with the idea of using him for good. So teaching him how to get away with killing people, but teaching him to pick his targets by like taking out people that slip through the net of the justice system, like when they get off on like technicalities or like when it's 100%, you know that it's him, but you can't get the evidence to prove that it's him, so they're getting away with it. He
So
would then target those people to kill them.
so he's like a Robin Hood of criminals then.
Yeah.
he's
This
doing
is what I mean. It's really weird. He's a serial killer, but he only goes after bad people who get away with shit that they shouldn't.
yeah, the people that deserve to be killed,
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Yeah, that seems
So
pretty,
like,
pretty sweet.
yeah, it's sort of one of them. Like, it's really cool or really interesting
Yeah.
because he's sort of like it's one of those things of like he's sort of a superhero that like the hero that Miami needs, but not the one they deserve.
Yeah. No, I get that. So
But like,
my
yeah.
my last TV series, there's four of them. Or five?
Mm.
There's five of them. They can be controversial because people will probably like them. It's an unpopular opinion, I think, on the one of them. But I don't think any of these seasons should have carried on for as long as they did. Sorry, programs. So Prison Break. The Big Bang Theory, Scrubs, Two and a Half Men, and Friends. Friends is probably the one that people like, oh, you know, you can't do that with Friends. Like, it wasn't actually funny. Like, the same with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sometimes the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was funny. But if you take away the fake audience, or even if it was a live audience, if you take away the live audience reactions and shit like that, it's not funny. It's really not. And they wouldn't
I'm
have...
gonna have to heavily disagree with you on that one.
No.
No,
There's some...
Friends, for all it was,
It was shit.
it may not be as funny as people think it is, but I will say it has some iconic moment.
It does. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't. Like, there was some
I
really
agree
funny...
I agree that it shouldn't have gone on for as long as it did. I didn't like how long it went on for,
Yeah,
and the whole Ross and Rachel thing was just annoying in the end.
it was, yeah.
But
Like, when you make a song about Smelly Cat, for God's sake.
oh, no, but that's just Phoebe, man, come on. Everyone at some point in their life has known this really eccentric friend that does some weird shit, right? And that's just Phoebe, okay?
I'm talking to one of mine.
Rude, man.
Oh, but no, like, Joey, what's his name? Joey and Chandler together, they were funny as hell.
Joey and
Like,
Chandler were brilliant.
yeah, like, don't get me wrong, there were some fantastic moments, but at the same time, my God, it went on, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Two and a Half Men, the sexual innuendos were kind of funny and that, yeah. But
2.5 Men was okay. It should have 100% stopped when Charlie Sheen left.
yeah, 100%.
And I feel bad for Ashton Kutcher for that, because he actually does a good job if you watch the episodes.
Yeah, he does.
But it just doesn't work. Like,
No, because he's so used to him.
what grown man buys a house and lets the old tenant who was mooching off his brother living there carry on living there? That's
Exactly.
just weird.
That's strange.
That doesn't happen.
Just this probably never ever happened
No.
in the entire world. It's just bloody
No.
odd.
Big
Scrubs.
Bang Theory.
Oh, it's Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Like, it
I
was...
enjoy it, but again, I see where you're coming from.
yeah. Like,
But I don't religiously watch it. I'll watch the odd episodes when they come on here and there.
yeah. Like, I don't even watch it anymore. I used to stay up, like, you know, when they used to do the reruns and stuff like that, like,
Yeah.
all hours in the morning. I'd just be up watching that, to be honest. And
Yeah.
like, it was...
I'm neither here or there on that. Like, it's as a series to sit down and watch episode after episode after episode, I couldn't do it. I couldn't binge watch it.
yeah.
But I do enjoy watching the odd episode here and there.
Hmm. Did you ever watch Scrubs?
I religiously love Scrubs.
Oh, like, I loved it.
I
But
agree. I agree to the point where when it was over for JD Turk and the original cast, stop it,
yeah,
stop it,
I
absolutely stop it.
100% agree with you there.
If you're gonna continue that series on, in terms of having that hospital related humor and all the rest of it, starting a totally new hospital with a completely new cast.
Yeah, something like New Amsterdam. Have you seen New Amsterdam?
No.
It's a good series. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but honestly, it is a good series. Like, it's on Amazon Prime if you have it.
I'll have to have a look. But yeah,
I think they've
like,
got 2 series of it now. I think it came out 2019.
as strong as the other cast were in Scrubs, JD and Turk made it,
Yeah,
and
I can't remember the
then it
doctor's
was
name
just
now.
the relationship between
Doc, wasn't
Dr.
it?
Kelso,
Yeah, Kelso. Oh no, Doc was
and
Doc was the
Kelso and Cox.
yeah, Cox. Doc was the other surgeon, right? I think he had Doc tattooed on him or something. Oh my God, I can't remember. The jock kind of dude.
Yeah, no, what was his name?
I can't remember.
He was the high five dude, didn't it? That's
Yeah,
what
that
about.
dude. Scrubs cast. I'm just quickly Googling it. Oh, by the way, yeah, dude, the janitor too. The janitor was fantastic.
Yeah. Todd.
Todd, yeah, not Doc, Jesus. I'm an idiot. Yeah, but Todd was pretty cool.
He was good.
Yeah.
But like the other cast were great, and there was nothing wrong with them whatsoever. I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But like, once they lost the bulk of the main cast, it was just like,
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't...
not Scrubs anymore.
It's not, no.
like at least starting a new hospital with a new cast and start a new series if anything.
Yeah. Or Ted as well. Wasn't he the lawyer?
The sweaty lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Every time I see him, all it reminded me of was Lee Evans.
Yes. Oh god.
Oh,
But yeah, that was
yeah, I agree.
that was, they should have as well. So Prison Break, like to me, after maybe the second or third season, I was like, come on, do something else. You're breaking out of a prison over and over again. You're doing the same shit, different location.
It was like season 1 was breaking out of the prison, then season 2 was, them being on the run and trying to prove his innocence, wasn't it? I think was it at the end of season 2 they proved that he was innocent and he got his exoneration?
Was that season 2?
I think so.
I'm not sure, but it was just like after the initial sort of like breakout, he's innocent, this, that, and the other, but he still had no. The exoneration was like in the last season because if you remember, he like quote unquote dies and stuff again.
No, 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 Link gets his exoneration
Hmm.
from, murdering the president's brother.
Oh right. Yeah. So Link. Sorry, I thought you meant Michael.
Yeah. So,
So like,
there was a lot of, "You've broke out of a prison, you're on the run, now you're back in a prison, you've broke out of that one, now you're back in one. Oh shit, you've broke out of that one. Um,
oh shit, you've died.
oh shit, you need to break into this place. Now you need to get back out.
Yeah, it
Now you
just
need to break into a prison. Now you're dead.
that's what I
Wait,
mean.
hold on. You're not dead. You're in some prison in fucking God knows where. I can't even remember.
It
So now
was.
all your friends that have helped you over the years now have to reappear out of nowhere to get you out of a prison.
It's just dodgy. Like
And it
it
was
should.
just like,
I
come
think
on.
it could have ended after 3 seasons, personally.
Like, bruh, come on. The fucking the universe is telling you you belong in a fucking prison. Just stay there.
Was it
Jesus
Zona?
Christ.
I think the prison.
Yeah.
I
See,
want.
the way I thought they could have taken it, which I thought would have been quite cool, would have been to, um, like, have Link prove his innocence and all the rest of it, and then have Michael and Link and all the rest of it, like, have this business of going into prisons and breaking out of them as, like, a business, like, like, the security testing.
Security, yeah. But the thing is, the guards and everyone and the prisoners would know that they're there to break out.
Or would they, though?
Well, the guards would. Like obviously the chief, and then whoever he tells will tell someone else, and then you're gonna get bent guards. So then the bent guards are gonna tell the inmates, and then they're like, "Yo, if you want to get out of this place, then this person is gonna be breaking out."
It depends on who knows. Like, the government could just be sending them hiring them to go into prisons from, like, above the warden's head, so the warden has no clue.
I mean, that's the thing, but how would you make that into a TV series though?
Well, I don't know. It was done as a movie. That's all I know.
Right, that's okay. That's fair enough then. But yeah, I think it ran
Yeah,
its course after like
seen that?
the third season. Even though I liked it, even though I liked all five of or six of them or whatever it was, like, and I watched them.
I enjoyed them for what they were, but it was a bit far-fetched in the end. It was
Yeah.
like, come on.
Again, it was more like the Fast and Furious version of breaking out of prison. It
It
was.
was literally like, what was it? Sucre starts off as just like this little Spanish dude that robbed the shop.
Dude, I
And then
love
all of a
Sucre.
sudden he's got contacts all over the world and all the rest of it. And he's like this master criminal that can help him get anything or do whatever he wants. Like it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, since when did that
I thought
happen?
you just wanted to marry your homie and you robbed a little shop. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like he has to be one of my favorite characters, to be honest.
He was so cute, bless him.
Yeah. So that's my list of them. Do you have any more?
Um, I'm not really sure. I think there's a few series that fall into the category of they could have gone on for longer, and I think they would have done really well going on for longer. But at the same time, people probably thought that of the series that we've just mentioned going on for longer, where they ended up going on for too long.
Yeah, maybe Stranger
I
Things.
That's what, like, I think Stranger Things is tying itself up really
Nicely.
nicely,
Yeah,
and I
same.
hate the fact that there's only one more season left.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say
But
any spoilers.
no, we'll avoid spoilers for now. But like the the upside down for Stranger Things is something that existed before all the events of Stranger Things.
Yeah. It's that it's like that
And there's
mist stuff, isn't
various
it?
there's various creatures in there, and it's a vast land that we've barely scratched the surface of.
Yeah.
So even if it was to end after season 5 now, I'd be happy for them to come back with a new cast, exploring a different part of the Upside Down from a completely different point of view,
You know
with
what would be
completely different
sorry.
circumstances, like,
What would be awesome was what if they go back in time?
um,
It would be cool if somebody found it before or finding like how it was created, that kind of thing. Or, like you said, moving on forward and
yeah.
exploring it like now. But the only thing with that is you would need the current active cast members to get there.
Would
Like
they though? That's what I'm saying. It could be a whole new cast.
it could be, but then how are those people going to know how it exists without being tied to the original cast?
So how did the original cast find out about it?
Because of L.
I mean, yeah, but who's like this is what I mean.
It
Like
was
at the
literally
moment,
all 11,
between,
what 11 did.
yeah, but it's between America and Russia. 11 only broke the the seal essentially between the two worlds.
Yeah, so she broke the seal. Then
Yeah,
the KGB and the Russians and stuff, they stole like a Demogorgon kind of thing, performed experiments and did whatever they did. So that's how they had that. So they don't
yeah.
know how to get into the Upside Down. They may know that it exists, but based on what uh was it Ivan? I can't remember his name. Like the Russian dude that was a guard and then he helped Hopper in the end.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you
Him
mean.
like he didn't know about it. He just knew it was a monster. He knew nothing about the Upside Down. He didn't have a clue.
No,
Like
but that's like the seal between worlds is being broken. So who's to say in 50 years' time there's not a new papa that is experimenting on kids trying to recreate L from stories and rumors of what L was capable of. Do you know what I mean?
that's an
Like
yeah.
you're
I can
talking
see
like
that.
you're talking. It could be like a 50-year time skip
But
where you could have like
the chances are though the people that are involved in 50 years time or so they're either dead or like gonna die.
that's for me. It could be someone who completely doesn't have a clue what has gone on at this time. They could not even be born yet, but they could hear stories from like um the doctor Sam. Like he could tell something to his kids about it, or people who were in Hawkins at the time could tell their kids about it, and their kids go on to like start investigating why this happened in Hawkins when they're older. And they could be like a 30 to 40-year-old scientist who's then found out about L and stuff and is trying to recreate it to find out exactly what happened in Hawkins.
So kind of like the super serum and stuff from the Incredible Hulk
Sort of, yeah.
and like what was it Captain America and the Incredible Hulk, because that's essentially what
Yeah.
it was, right?
Yeah,
Like
it was all stories of a super soldier. It was never confirmed apart from stories and rumors from people who fought alongside Captain America as to what he was capable of.
yeah,
So it's whispers and rumors. So I could see it going down that route, and then
I mean it's plausible.
they could have like a really interesting callback to it where you've got like I don't know, was proper lovable character Dustin. You could have like
Dustin's amazing.
someone. someone playing Dustin, but like in his 70s, and they eventually track him down and be like, we need you to tell us about this because such and such is back. Or like the upside down is there's a new doorway to the upside down or whatever, depending on how season 5 finishes. We don't know.
Yeah, so
But
I've only got to wait like 2 years for it.
yeah,
It's
I hate it.
ridiculous.
I hate it, but then I'm tempted to go back and watch the whole series because I think there's going to be a lot of things that make more sense and a lot of things that may stick out more
Yeah.
after watching it.
No, I agree. But
So
the only thing is with that though is like um everyone in this season looked significantly older as it
yeah,
is. Like for example, Eddie looked like, I know it was a joke that he was going to graduate this year or something, but he
yeah,
looked like he was in his 30s. Like
mm,
he looked way too old to be in high school, dude.
I suppose.
Like everyone just because of the lockdown and stuff and the restrictions, they couldn't film and stuff. It postponed the filming, and it just looked. Everyone was significantly older than what they were. They did not. What were they supposed to look like? 15, 16,
Yeah, I think.
something like that. Like they did
But
not.
then it's hard. It's hard,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No, I know it's
But
hard, but
that's what I mean. Like a big time skip like that would be quite interesting. I think.
yeah,
Like
it
they
all
could even
depends.
do it as like a British thing.
How
So
do
there'd
you?
be a portal in Britain that like some American scientist who might have been involved with in that underground base with L,
Yeah.
who
It-
then goes to Britain, tells people in Britain about what they were doing in America, and they start trying to recreate it. That's what everyone does. They find out information, they start trying to recreate
yeah, that's exactly what they do. Can I just say though, why is it always America?
it.
Why do these things always happen in America? Why can't they happen anywhere else in the world? Like, for example, everything in Avengers, apart from like the Sokovia thing,
Mhm.
everything happened in like New York. What is it about New York that aliens are fascinated with? It's
I
just,
mean,
it is a strange one why
yeah,
it's always in America.
yeah.
The only other
But
thing was it
interesting.
Far From Home, I think it was. No, not Far From Home. Home. Yeah, it was Far From Home. They went to London, I think.
Yeah, they went to a few cities. They were in Venice, Paris. Were they do Paris?
Paris, yeah.
I think they've done Paris and Venice, and then London.
It was a good film though.
Yeah,
So
that's
move.
what it is. It's interesting. Like, it's definitely something I'd be interested in watching, but they would have to do it well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Moving swiftly on to gaming related stuff, by the way. So,
Hmm.
uh, minus the disconnects, minus the server issues, and just bulkiness of a PTB. What did you think of the new PTB on Dead by Daylight?
Um, Minus those things, and minus some killers still playing it as if it was a competitive game of DBD. It was good. Like, I know we played one game, and as testing goes for a public test build, playing against a Blight who run Ruin, Undying, Tinkerer, and Barbecue,
Mm-hmm.
kinda stale.
Yeah,
Like, run a new perk for the love of all that is good. Like, I know Tinkerer was changed, and I know Barbecue was changed, but Barbecue didn't change for what you used it for as Blight, so you didn't need that.
I think
Granted, Tinkerer changed, but Tinkerer was nerfed, so try something different.
like as much as I understand why they would go on and play those builds and do that kind of stuff, I kind of feel as if like yeah, try a different build, but at the same time, yeah, they can try that build or they can try the regular builds because other things changed as well. It wasn't just the perks; it was like the regression speed. When you
Yeah.
kick a generator, it's an extra 2.5% taken off it instantly.
Like, that's what I mean, though, is Blight was good anyway, and that build on Blight was really strong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, you weren't really testing anything by running that build, if that makes sense. Like,
No,
it's a
yeah,
build that was already strong, and it's just being made stronger with the amount of extra regression and everything on there. So, like, there was no testing. involved in that. It was just like, if you're gonna play that, just go play on the live servers. Fuck off.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. But me, like, at the same time, trying to see it from both sides,
Yeah,
like, the generators now take 90 seconds.
yeah,
Bloodlust for tier 2, I think, is 25 seconds, and tier 3 is 35, rather
something
than
like that.
30
Yeah,
and
yeah.
45. So there's, like, other things that have changed. So I can understand that if they wanted to try that, it could have been their first game. Like, it could have
Mm,
been their first game on the PTB, and they just wanted to try out their regular build. So
maybe, but then it's Blight, and they if they're running Ruin and Dying, Tinker and Barbecue in the PTB, they've probably been playing Blight for months and have probably got a lot of hours in Blight, sweating to kill everyone with 5 generators, but that's just my opinion on Blight,
yeah,
so we won't go too
it,
far into it.
it is a very killer sided. Despite what True Talent says, it is a very killer
Yeah,
sided
uh,
update.
it absolutely baffles me that there's, like, I understand the whole, taking hits debate, and yet it can be a bit ridiculous that you could take 5 hits to down someone, but
I think
I think
6 I counted when I tried it out.
yeah, like, the problem being with that is, 1, the amount of setup that that takes to put in place,
Yeah.
and then, I think I was watching Scott Jund,
Okay.
and he basically was saying about it, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a bit ridiculous, but listen, if you wanna spend 80 seconds after getting unhooked, not touching a generator, that is fine by me.
Exactly my point.
That
I'm
is absolutely fine by
I'm
me."
glad you brought that up, because it's not just that. Like, the setup is going to take a while anyway. You have to be, for example, if you have Metal of Man, you need to
Mm,
take 3 protection hits before you get your proc. So for
yeah.
those 3 protection hits, you're not doing a generator. You're not advancing the game. Uh, then
But the problem with that is as well, and I did see it, Ott's done a recent video on it.
yeah,
Um, so you could get your 3 Metal of Man stacks without going down pretty quickly. So if you get unhooked, you, take the BT hit, so that's be 1 protection hit. You follow on, you take the off a record hit, so you get that hit again. Then you could take, the dead hard hit if they don't wait it out, and that's your 3 protection hits, all from just getting unhooked. Then you've got a Metal of Man hit.
but how often is that going to happen? But at
That's
at the same
that's what I mean. It
at this,
takes a lot. It's not exactly easy to set up, and
it's
as
really
people have
not.
said, like, you go after the unhooker, you don't really get that problem. And not many people are gonna get unhooked and start following the kill around trying to take these hits.
Exactly.
And
The
if
only
they do, you're chasing one person while another person is getting is there taking hits. So you've only got 2 people on generators, and if one person's dead at that point, you've got 1 person doing generators. You're fine.
Exactly. And mix that in with the fact that generators take 90%, 90 seconds. Uh,
Yeah.
Factor in any other things, like, for example,
Mm,
Thanatophobia or Jolt,
yeah.
because Jolt doesn't have a cooldown now, which is
Yeah.
insane. Like, you can have generators on 90% and everyone's injured. And then all of a sudden you could have an Oni just come down, just like bop you all with his big stick, and then all 4 of you go down. How much
Mm.
progress is that going to, like, it's going to be screwed.
Well, if he downs you all with the 1 hit, it should only proc jolt 1.
Does it though?
I don't know. That's
It'd be good to
interesting.
try though, wouldn't it? Thinking of
Yeah.
it.
But, there's certain things like, I think with regards to off the record, I think it will get nerfed.
Yeah, of course.
How they nerf it begs to differ. I
Uh,
think, conspicuous actions currently cancels it,
yeah, it
doesn't it?
does. Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure.
Conspicuous, yeah, conspicuous actions includes repairing a generator, healing yourself or others, cleansing or blessing totems,
So the
sabotaging
endurance
hooks,
effect is lost
yeah,
upon performing
unhooking a survivor,
conspicuous.
or opening an exit gate.
I think, that could be changed to add in that if you are fully healed.
That's the only way that I would change him. I think it is fine as it is. Just add if you become fully healed, you then lose the endurance status effect. So you
Or
may no longer
the only
take
other
it.
way you could do it would be just cutting the time down on the endurance effect.
Or is it 80 seconds? I want to
It's
say.
currently 80.
So that's pretty much a full generator.
I think 30 would be fine.
Um, personally, I think 80 is still fine. Like as much as like yeah, it's a long time in a game, especially
It
Dead by
depends.
Daylight.
If it was to be that if you got healed, you then lose the endurance effect, then the timing's fine.
Yeah, but the thing is to help with tunneling as well. So like the amount of
Yeah.
times that like I consider myself a good looper, but like if I concentrate or if I'd like try a little bit or whatever, like I consider myself. No, don't snicker at me. Like I meme a lot, you know this. Like I don't care. But if I'd like, for example, on Cold Tower, if I'm on Cold Tower and I want to keep practicing my looping, I'm still on that one side the entire map, pretty much. Unless I've got a blocked wall or a blocked vault or something, and I need to go to the actual Cold Tower or go to Killer Shack just to loop around and just get some distance or whatever. Yeah, like I can loop killers for days, and the amount of times that I've been put on a hook and then tunneled off, and I've been looping them for like another 2 or 3 gens or something, and then they get me down. Like off the
Yeah.
record, would have still been active that entire chase, and I could have either taken a hit like halfway through the chase so I can get an extra speed boost so I don't have to use dead hard or lithe or sprint burst or something. That I think that extra endurance effect like will help. Like it helps loopers in my opinion. Like off the record is one of those things that helps you as a looper, helps you as like if you do get tunneled off the hook. So I think 80 seconds is a valid way. Like it, but if you do get fully healed, for example, a survivor could come up to you, give you an adrenaline shot or whatever it's called. So you healed in like 15 seconds. As soon as that 15 seconds is up and you're healed, it goes. No matter how you
Yeah.
get healed, I think that's when it should get removed.
Yeah.
I think that's the fairest way about it because I think
Because there's
this
one thing I sort of wanted to test as well,
mhm,
would be running, off the record with renewal.
renewal. What does
So,
that do?
you when you get unhooked, you would be broken. Um,
Oh, is that babysitter?
but after no, what did it used to be called? No, it's not camaraderie.
People use renewal and deliverance together, right? Is it Jeff's
No, it doesn't
perk?
work. Doesn't work. No, renewal's the other Steve perk. So when you get unhooked after like 20 seconds of being broken, you'll be fully healed.
I'm sure that was babysitter or second wind.
No,
Second wind.
yeah, second wind. So
Yeah.
babysitter is the unhooking, the actual unhooking one rather than being unhooked.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, like running off the record with renewal, you would come off, you would have that little bit of BT, then you've got off the record. So if you do get hit within those 20 seconds, it does nothing because renewal is just going to proc and heal you up in 20 seconds anyway. And
Well,
if you don't
no,
get hit and you start looping,
that's the thing. It doesn't. So if you recover the health state, it'll recover your broken status if you get hit within that 20 seconds.
no, it doesn't work through broken.
We'd need to try it then.
That's just it doesn't recover your broken status. Once that 20 seconds is gone, the broken status would disappear and it would heal you to full health.
Oh yeah, that's no, sorry, that's right. I don't mean broken, I mean endurance. So if you get hit within that 20 seconds while you're broken, you get the BT hit, right? So you've got that endurance status effect, which
Yeah.
means you need to mend yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if you get the mend bar for Lucky Break though. Not Lucky Break. I don't think you get the mend bar for other endurance hits. I think it's only the BT hit. Because if you
Right.
notice, remember Metal of Man was changed, so you don't get the endurance effect.
Right, okay. You'll have to test it.
You get the endurance effect, but you don't have to mend after taking that hit. Because I think it really confused me when Smurfers run it, and he took the Metal of Man hit and then got adrenaline and was fully healed.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Because
So
I
if you
always thought we had to
they've
do the
got
mend after taking those protection hits or taking the BT hit or taking the
but even taking that away, you could get unhooked, run over to the killer, start looping them, get fully healed mid-chase because of it, because of renewal, and
yeah,
then you've got your full health state and an endurance hit, and you're probably only about 15 seconds into your 80 seconds
yeah.
of endurance, and
But
that's just insane.
you do need to heal another survivor to get this activated, though. That's the only thing
Yeah,
for the equivalent of a full health state.
yeah.
That's the only
I
issue.
I do love that they buffed Soul Survivor to a perk that's no one's still ever gonna run. Although I say no one ever wants to run, I am curious about running it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just purely experimental of possibly, like, solo queue,
yeah,
and, when you get to, like, there's the point where you've got the door standoff and you gotta try and open one of the doors before you get found and all the rest of it.
yeah,
So running Soul Survivor with Wake Up.
yeah. That would be
So,
good because you get what 50% extra speed, I think, when opening the gate.
yeah, with Soul Survivor
Yeah,
and Wake Up does at a percentage as well, 25%, so you would open the gate 75% faster.
and then if you're injured and you have resilience, that'll be an extra.
That's another 9%.
I know it's a very niche situation, but if you're a solo cure, maybe a random build like this or like a build focus on endgame, if you have confidence that you could last that long, yeah, that would be viable, I'd imagine.
I'd love to see how fast it is because Wake Up looks pretty fast anyway.
Also, you get an extra 6% on spine chill if the killer's looking at you.
Yeah. Like, Spine Chill can come in clutch when you've, like, E'd the gate a little bit,
Yeah,
but, like, imagine 75% plus your 9% is 84%, and then your 6% for Spine Chill, you could be opening the gates 90% faster.
that'd be pretty cool.
Which
And imagine if you had
how long
dead
does it
hard.
take to open the gate?
I want to say 16 seconds, unless that's the Freddy perk, isn't it? To increase it by 6. Remember me, I think that is
Yeah, I think that is right, though. 20 seconds to open the
20
gate.
seconds. Yeah,
So 90%
it,
faster basically means
like
you would
12
open it
seconds.
in 11 to 12 seconds, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, that's disgusting.
it is filth.
But, yeah, it's a shit perk that they made slightly better, but it's still shit.
Like
Um,
I've quickly just googled how long to open the exit gate while we were talking about that, right? And
yeah,
that's how I found out it was 20 seconds. But the third result, uh,
mm,
says why do 99% the gate in DBD?
mm,
And this is on the forum right now. Last year, 8th of February. So it's I think it's the full post of like this reply. So it
yeah,
says, as a person who plays both sides, I believe that 99% in the gates is an exploit, making you cheat the end game collapse. You can literally 99% them and do what you have to do without being pressured at the time, knowing that all you have to do is tap the gate switch and escape. So
mm.
if people do complain about this quite often, I think,
I've seen it being mentioned, and I've seen a couple of suggestions to go against that, which are
mhm,
quite interesting. And I do sort of agree. Like, 99 in the gates essentially destroyed Blood Warden. Like,
yeah,
Blood Warden, you can still get value out of it, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot harder to get value out of Blood Warden because 99 in the gates exists. Um, so, you get the 3 lights.
yeah,
I thought one suggestion that was pretty viable was, like, a ruin effect for the gates,
yeah.
but it would never regress under the
The
light
light that's
coming
currently
on.
on. Yeah, no, I get that.
You've done it past one light, it could regress back to that one light turning on, but it wouldn't go any further than that. So you could 99 a gate, but if you left it, it would start regressing until the point that third light would come on,
But I
which would be
think,
like 25% of a gate.
yeah, I think it should. That's not a bad idea. That's a very good idea. But I'm reading this thing and saying it was from a behavior person actually,
Yeah,
and they're saying, look, the end game collapse isn't about pressure, it's about ending the game, which
yeah,
that is true because the amount of people that I remember back when the end game collapse wasn't a thing and they would just slug people out
yeah.
like for the entirety of the but that's why the killer has been given the ability to open the gate
Yeah,
because of
so
people
they
99 in it.
can't be held hostage as well.
Yeah, so they can't be held hostage too.
Yeah,
So uh that's how the killers can force end the match because survivors can't like hold the game hostage at all. Yes, they can not do gens, but then what does that force? Chases. What happens when all of the chases have been done? All the doors are broken, all the pallets are gone. Like the
mm.
survivors, unless they're somehow extremely, extremely good hackers or the killer is very, very bad, there
I
is
don't know. I think I could hide in a singular I could hide in a bush on Dead Dog Saloon as a Claudette for a very long time.
yeah, but then you'll get crows.
Yeah, but it's not like urban evasion. Urban evasion, cap spirit.
Yeah, so what about the other three survivors?
That's their problem.
Exactly. So the three survivors die. What happens?
But you get what this is
I
the
close the
problem
exit gate. I close the
where
hatch. Sorry.
this is the problem where Swift comes into it. You get two people who both decide, right, we're going to be blendettes. We're not going to do anything. We're going to hide in the bushes all game. What are you going to do? Walk around swinging at bushes while they laugh at you?
Pretty much. Or you can just use your eyes. Like the amount of times, apart from that, the amount of people that are actually using shaders still
Yeah.
to like gain an advantage. Not naming any names, but I swear to God, I could smell the colors from certain streamers and certain content creators' shaders. Like it is that bright. Like I have no
It's
idea.
like going through the multiverse.
Yeah, it's like I've just been pushed out of my like physical form of a body, and I'm just
Mm,
being flown through the multiverse. I'm smelling all sorts of colors through my monitor screen,
mm,
and I'm like, why do you have this? It's like, oh, because it looks good. It's like, no, it doesn't. I've never seen such an overexposed shade of yellow, orange, and reds in my
yeah.
life before. It does not look good.
Mm,
I like in the lobby you can barely see things. Then in game all you can see is scratch marks.
mm,
Like it is not because it looks good. It's the same thing when people say 90% of the people I feel that played with stretch res played for the advantage. The 10% that didn't either played because of like games like CS:GO and they played by 4x3 anyway, or
yeah.
they've got an ultra wide monitor or something like that. So like it's essentially forced stretched res because that's the resolution of your monitor natively. But
Yeah.
people who played like that, I don't believe for 1 second that they believe it looked better. I believe that they did it because they could see over loops, see where the killer was, and like for example, expose Ghostface over the wall, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. They used it for advantage. Same with shaders. Um, but like I'm not gonna hold my like say that I don't use shaders because lately I've been using shaders 100%, but I've not done it to overexpose the game and to over like saturate the colors so I can see scratch marks, so I can see things. I've done it to actually make the game look better because lately the maps have been looking extremely, extremely dark
Mm,
where you can't actually see things. And then when the nightmare mode is on with a new killer, it makes it
oh,
even worse.
yeah.
Like you literally just can't see anything. I understand that's the sort of premise behind the power and stuff, but
Yeah.
if you look at my shaders and look at my in-game, I can tell you what, for the podcast, I'll load up Dead by Daylight, put my shaders on, take a screenshot, and then take the shaders off for a
Mm,
screenshot just to show the difference. It's not that much of a difference. It makes it slightly brighter. It gives it slightly more contrast. So the blacks are like black, and
yeah.
like the colors pop still. It doesn't look so much like a dark, dull looking game. The colors are a nice sort of blend between saturated and unsaturated rather than sort of grey and dull tones. Like it just makes it look more cinematic and nice, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the thing is, the only problem with that is the fact that everyone's monitor is different. So the funny thing is, I've done a lot of thinking about this, and it reminded me with Kira because she had shaders for her Sims game upstairs. Her monitor is severely different to the monitor that we have downstairs.
Yeah.
And when she thought it looked good upstairs, she's like, oh, well, this is the same shader that I'm using upstairs. So I was like, well, it's different monitors, for example. The monitors down here are very, very significantly more expensive because they're high refresh rate monitors. They're very, very color accurate monitors. Like, don't get me wrong, the monitors that she have were expensive and they're very good, but the ones downstairs,
Yeah.
like, better again. So the colors are going to look different, and her Sims look like tangerines on them. So I was like, you know what? I'll sort the shaders out for you. I'll make them look more color accurate. I'll make them look good, and they look good now. And
Sims. Donald
yes,
Trump edition.
pretty much that's honestly what it was. Like I think the walls in the house were like a warm white, but downstairs on those monitors, it looked like you painted them orange. But
I love
But yeah, I think what you said with Realm with the endgame collapse, that's good. I think maybe it could be something like, I don't want to say a hex totem. It could be an offering, I'd imagine. So I think maybe have something along the lines of base kit, it regresses at like 20% of the speed for the last light. Like, not for the last light, for say, for example, you've got 2 lights lit and you're like 3/4 of the way through the 3rd light and the killer comes, so you let go of it. It regresses at like 20% or 25% of the speed. And then you get an offering, kind of like the luck offering. So it increases your luck a little bit. It increases everyone's luck a little bit. It increases everyone's luck a lot, or your luck a lot. I think this should be like 3, maybe 3 offerings that a killer could have, rather than a perk that you could increase the regression speed of the exit gates for up to 100%. And maybe you could have an iridescent one where it doesn't regress the gate fully, or maybe it does, but it regresses it at 50% of the speed. It's capped at 50, and it can either lose 2 lights or all 3 of the lights.
Yeah.
I think that would be something better than, because it would make it more killer-sided, and it would take the pressure off using Moris or use like separate the hooks or that kind of stuff and map offerings and whatnot. And there's nothing the survivors can do about it unless they run the other perks that don't get no love, like Wake Up, like the other perks that help you unlock the gate. And maybe in the future, the keys could have an extra function to unlock the gates faster. Or like it can lock the progress of the gate, for example.
That could be interesting.
Just something random like that. I know it's like spitballing in the air right now, but that's...
No, it's definitely like, it would be interesting to see him shake stuff up like that, because I do agree to an extent that 99 negates can be a little bit of an exploit. I know it's not an exploit, but
it's not.
I get
No.
where they're coming from.
Yeah, I totally do.
Describing it that way.
Yeah, because it's like, unless you have no way out, as soon you can be like, I can be being chased around, I don't know, like the garage in Autohaven Wreckers.
Yeah.
And there's on the opposite corner, there's an exit gate, and then the opposite side to the gas station, there's an exit gate. That's usually where they spawn. If they don't spawn right next to the garage, it's on the opposite corner. So those 2 gates, I could be looping someone. You could have just finished the last gen, which is right by the exit gate, or by Killer Shack, for example.
Yeah.
And you and Smurfus, or you and a random, or 2 randoms could just go straight to the exit gate, 99 it, and then it's done. Like, and I'm still looping the killer around the gas station, and there's nothing that they can do because, like, I'm 0.001% MMR. I'm a god. And like, I've got life, for example, so, and I've 99 my exhaustion. Next, they're gonna probably they're gonna complain about that. You can't 99 your exhaustion. You either get fully like healed of exhaustion or not. And
I don't think they can change
no,
that.
they can't change that. They'll break the entire game. But you know what I mean.
They
So
break the entire game just by adding perks, dude. Come on.
yeah, exactly. So I could just walk for a second so I get my exhaustion status gone, and then I could fast forward the window, go to the exit gate. They can take hits for me or
Yeah.
whatever. If it's a bubba, obviously they wouldn't, but you know what I mean. It's like
But
99 in the gates is a thing, or even just like the borrowed time stuff.
the thing
Maybe
I've noticed what they're trying to do, it seems to me they're trying to make sure that everything has a counter,
that's a good thing.
which yeah, I agree with. That's fine, but that's one thing that killers can really counter.
It's
Like
bad skills, bad
they
looping
can to
skills.
an extent, but no, but like even if you weren't that good of a looper, if the killer chases someone off the gen and someone finishes their last gen, like you could be stuck in a stalemate essentially, where they just wait for their team to go and 99 the gates, then that team then comes over, takes 3 hits, and they all get out.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a good looper for that to be a situation.
No, you
And
don't.
if you're a good killer, sometimes there's fuck all you can do about that.
Yeah. That's just how the game goes, though. If you get outplayed to an extent that you've got to you've got to, as a killer, you've got to the point where you haven't got anyone killed, and the last gen's about to pop,
Yeah.
and you're chasing someone, so you know you're gonna lose the gen and you're gonna lose the both gates. That's on you. Like, you've been outplayed. That happens. Like,
Yeah.
suck it up, in my opinion. Like, the amount of times that I've got absolutely shat on by survivors, solo survivors and survivor friends, like really good ones. Yeah,
Mm.
it's like, holy shit, you played very well. Like, the only time that I don't appreciate it is when they're just like, oh, GG easy, blah, 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 whatever.
Mm.
Because, like, if they were in survivor friends, you're all in comms
Mm.
against me. Yeah, you're better than me, so what? You don't need to just be a dick about it, you know? Like, just move on. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
better than me. Who cares?
Correct, scrub.
Yeah. Like, it's when they're bad winners. That's what annoys me.
Yeah.
And then the sore losers as well. The sore losers are like, they're hilarious, but it's like, really? Just get good. It's like the other day
Yeah.
I was playing solo queue, and I'd ran, I think it was a Legion maybe. I'd ran him for a bit. I'd been hooked twice myself. I didn't even get a heal the first twice I was on the hook, I think. And I did 2 or 3 gens in the meantime, as well as some totems. And this one person was just hiding the entire game, and they got hooked just as I was trying to complete the last but one gen and the last gen. So they got hooked twice, and the one person that was left went to go after them. And in
Mm.
that time, I was doing the exit gate on the opposite side of the map, and I had a feeling that they'd have Noed. So that's the reason why I stuck the gate as well. And
Yeah.
that one person was just about to get the unhook and whatever, and Noed popped. So I was like, you
Yeah.
know what? Screw this. I'm out. Like, I'm not running over the other side of the map just to get Noed like slapped when I was injured anyway. And
Yeah.
I'm not getting the safe. I'm not going to risk it because it's just going to have 4K. But then that survivor started flaming in chat then saying, oh, you're literally the worst survivor ever. Blah, 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 blah. Like, full on like complaining because they got outplayed and killed by a Legion. And then I didn't even have borrowed time either, because I was
Yeah.
playing as Jake and I have little to no perks on him because of prestige in him and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just sore losers and bad winners. That's what
I
really
I
gets on my nerves.
I had one the other day was, a sore winner,
Hmm.
and I've never laughed so much in my life. So they were playing, I'd say they were a sore winner. They didn't win because 3 people got out. They killed me with no aid, basically,
Yeah.
on Huntress as well.
By the
Um,
way, no ed is a survivor perk. It's totally on the survivor's fault if no ed is still there. Let me just put
I
that out there.
I would like to say it wasn't my fault in terms of she chased me for a good 75% to 80% of the game. I think I barely touched the generator, um, so I couldn't really do much else other than Looper,
Yeah.
but I was fine, but they were upset with me, even though I was the only one that got killed. told me that, basically said like, "Oh, your dad's as dead as your skill," or something like that.
What?
Yeah. So I just said, "I actually have 2 dads that are very much alive. The only thing more dead than me is in this lobby is your skill."
Yeah.
He replied with 1v1 me.
Wow. Very.
So I said cowshed question mark. He then went, "I don't do 1v1s." I was like, "What? You've
What?
just asked me for a 1v1. I've offered you a map and you've told me you don't do 1v1s." I was like
Jesus.
so confused. So I was like, "Jesus, who the fuck pissed in your cornflakes today?" And he just went, "I know, I'm just mad, man. I don't eat cereal actually." I was like, "What the fuck is going
Jesus.
on?" He then added me as a friend on Steam and asked me to go and play Survivor with him.
Oh my god, dude. Like it's
I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
dude, shit like this is just so weird. Like honestly, the community is the most at times the most toxic, but at times the most funny, but then also at times the most nice and humble. Like the amount of awesome people that I've met through
Yeah,
uh Dead, Dead
yeah.
by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is just fantastic.
We played against a ghost face a while ago, and
Did he know
in
what
the
you were
night
doing?
he had no clue, and in the nicest way possible, we shat on him for the whole game. And we got to the end game chat, and we all like a few of us said GG, and he just come back with GG, well played, Jesus Christ, you guys were so good. I could not even get close to hitting you. Like it was insane. Like I don't understand how you were so good at the game and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
I was just like, and he was just really humble about it. And he was like, "Oh, like I want to go against you again in the future just to like learn and try and get better." And I was like, that's what people should be.
exactly. Yeah.
That's how it should be. Like you've got outplayed. We've all said GG. You've complimented us because we were better than you, and
I
you want to play against us again, not because it was an unfun game for you, which it probably was because you barely done anything. I think you had like 2 hooks the whole game.
yeah.
Uh, because you got outplayed and you wanted to play against the people that outplayed you to try and get better.
Like that's exactly what I'm like.
Yeah.
Like I'm yeah, I joke about the 0.1% ML because that's just a meme in the entire community kind of thing. But at the same time, like I know that I'm a good player, but at the same time, I know that there's people better than me, like
Mm.
Survivor and Killer sided. Um,
Yeah.
I hadn't played Killer for however many months, and like I've gone back to Killer now, like playing Killer sort of not frequently but occasionally, and I'm getting better at Killer
Yeah.
because I'm only playing Huntress. Like I played one nurse game, um, for a specific reason. That was my first Killer game in God knows how long, and I decided to go to RPD because a certain headbanging creator out there, not maybe you, yes, crew. You like to headbutt the camera, right?
Not that bad. I'm not that bad. Mostly because
But
my camera's too far away for it to be actually headbutting it, but
I just wanted to prove a point that if you're good with a killer, you can get a 4K on any map. And I got a 4K on apparently the only map that a nurse doesn't keep their streak on
yeah.
because it's so survivor sided. And I used the same perks, same loadout as this creator, and I got the 4K. Like the last one escaped through the hatch, but that was due to me being nice. But like I got the 4K fairly easily. It was a very easy game. I did the
It's
same
one
with
of those
Huntress as well,
things.
actually.
But it's one of those things. So I was watching a streamer last night, and someone DC'd before the game even started because an RPD match offer him was
Yeah,
um and they basically said, "Yeah, I'm not playing on RPD. It's impossible to play on RPD." So you're like, "Well, who are you playing?" Blight. They're like, Blight's actually pretty good on RPD purely because of the fact that you've got things to bounce off constantly.
yeah. But then
Like,
it's also bad, isn't it? Because you've
no,
got things to bounce off constantly.
yeah, but I like
It's
if you're
possibly just me. I'm shit
if
with
you're
him.
if you're good with Blight, RPD is pretty decent map for you. It's not amazing, but it's a pretty decent map for you. You've got enough to bounce off that you could get across the map if you need to. You can like you go into a corridor with a survivor and they're dead.
Yeah,
You
pretty
get a
much.
hit.
Yeah, Just bounce
and
and then
there's
you're
a lot
done.
of corridors. Yeah, there's a lot of corridors. It's like it's one of those things. If you're good enough with him that you know his curves and everything as well, even if they do duck into a room, you can bounce into that room effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So we just had the discussion, and it was basically brought up. It was like if you're going to refuse to play a certain map as a certain killer, you're never going to get good at playing that map as that killer.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as. So just I just never understand just people play the game. Play the game. If you get absolutely shat on, but you learn something new while playing that map, great.
It's like, you know, when I played Kill Your Friends and we went to Autohaven Wreckers?
Oh, the first time you took nurse out of Midwich.
No, not Nurse. Huntress.
Yeah.
Dude, I shout on you guys no matter the map with Nurse. Like I was just using Midwich as a testing ground because to be fair, to be fair, the only reason why I took Nurse to Midwich is because you know when I went against Limmy and I escape that game? I know I shat on him and looped him a lot, but
I think so, yeah.
I think I did escape, didn't I? But
Mm.
I went to his stream and like people were saying he only ever uses Midwich because Midwich is so. I was like, is Midwich that easy with Nurse? So
Yeah.
I I got a build going. I went to Nurse and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like test Nurse on this. I'm gonna like get used to Nurse's blinks and stuff. So I used Ruin and Die and Surveillance and Tinkerer, which
Mm.
are with double range add-ons because told me that what was it? The double range add-ons, you can go from pretty much the middle of the map to any single generator in the entire map.
Yeah.
So
It's very much true.
I thought, you know what, let's just try that. I can go around Midwich, I'll get all the auras, I'll get all the tinkerers, the ruins, everything. I can do a jump scare build essentially because I'll be able to grab them off the gens. And the amount of time it took me to get used to Nurse's blinks was insane. It was so short. Like playing on that map, I think not even like 2 or 3 days. Like I was very, very comfortable with Nurse's blinks. And it
Yeah.
just made me such a better Nurse player because of it. So then I took that into other matches off of Midwich. And I only ever put, the only reason why I put Midwich Nurse on for you guys is because one, you knew what my build was.
Yeah.
And you guys are good survivors. So for you guys to have knowledge of what build I'm going to be running, for you guys to know what killer I'm going to be playing as, and what map and everything, you guys would know how to counter me. Like if there was anyone that's going to counter me, it would have been you guys. And I wanted that challenge. And it came to a point where you guys absolutely fucking shat on me a few times. And I thought it was a good one. Like it was good practice for me to get used to that pressure. And there has been, I swear to God, there has been no survivor group that has put me under that much pressure since I've played Nurse. Like nobody's ever come close. Like, and understandable, like you guys weren't even communicating. That's the thing, because I was in the call with you, but you guys weren't even communicating. You guys just knew. And
He's coming.
pretty much, and the fact that you guys knew and you guys had that advantage, but it's I can, yeah, you know what build I'm running, survivors wouldn't. But at the same time, on massive maps like Autohaven Wreckers, like Larry's, like whatever, I've still shat on survivors, no matter what the build was or no matter what map it was. Like no one has come close to giving me that kind of pressure that you guys have.
Yeah.
And that's what makes, I thrive under that kind of pressure. Like I prefer to have pressure on me than an easy time because
See, mine usually just depends on what day it is. Like I have really good days, really, really bad days when I've been
yeah.
yeah,
So
it's fun. I like the direction the DVD is going at the moment,
yeah,
and
I do, yeah.
I'm just
So
hoping it brings a lot more of the player base back, essentially.
with the content creator stuff that we have going on as well, I did want to
Yeah.
just quickly brief over this, like how people take advantage of streamers, namely female streamers. So
Yeah.
I quickly just told you about this before we started, and essentially there's this streamer called Positive, She's really cool. I really like her. She's nice to have in the background as well, because she does a lot of just chatting streams as well as playing Fortnite and Warzone and stuff. I think she was playing Among Us and golf with friends and stuff the other day.
Yeah.
But she's cool. She's chill. She's nice and whatnot. And she had something going on with her recently, like last week, I believe it was. Some creep in chat. Well, so let me put it into perspective. She wasn't wearing any revealing outfits or anything like that. Despite someone on Twitter saying, like, putting it down because of it. Just because she wore a vest top, essentially, you shouldn't have been wearing that revealing outfit or whatever. But it wasn't revealing in the slightest. I even said to Queen, I said, look, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think she looks nice? Do you think it's too revealing? Blah, 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 whatever. She said, no, she looks really nice. She said, I want that top. It looks really nice. But, and the thing is, the guy that said this had a vest top on his thing. And he literally did it for clout. On his tweet, he was like, oh my God, look at all of this. And he shared a screenshot of all the activity that he had. So it just proves that he was doing it just to be a dick and just to get clout. So back to the actual thing that went happen. So I'm not sure whether there's a boyfriend, a roommate or something that came in, but they were messing about, having a good time and whatnot. And then he ended up lifting her up and spinning around in a circle, like just spinning around. Completely innocent, harmless fun, right? So then what happened then? Her titty came out and she noticed that it was coming out. She tried to like stop it. She put her hand over her chest and whatnot. And then as he put her down, like it, obviously titties are not confined to gravity, so they bounced. And when they did, it came out and whatever, and it's out for a split second. So this creep accidentally, in inverted commas, accidentally moved their mouse, clicked clip, put a title in the clip, and like condensed it down to when the thing actually happened, and then pressed publish by accident, copied the link after it published to another website, downloaded it by accident, and then proceeded to try and extort her for more nudes, to delete the clip, or money, or a mixture of both. But she was essentially being blackmailed just because of a total accident that happened on stream, totally innocent accident. And they've allegedly put it up on Pornhub and other websites. I believe it was on Twitter, like with screenshots of when it came out. But if you, as a normal viewer, unless you were staring at her chest the entire time, like looking for something to come out, you wouldn't have seen it. So there's no way that that person clipped it by accident. And it was obviously done in malice. And that kind of thing just pisses me off, because it was something just playful and totally innocent and stuff like that. And then essentially, because of that happening, someone clipping it, and they've essentially got the proof. Not only that person is trying to blackmail the person and trying to like expose her, but that kind of shit can get her banned on the platform for nudity and stuff. And that's not good, because that it can just ruin someone's career by getting banned. It can get their channel shut down, that kind of stuff. And it's like, that kind of stuff doesn't happen with men. Like, you can't accidentally, unless you have some really short shorts and somehow you just flop out your wet noodle and it somehow comes out, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff doesn't happen to guys, because I'm fairly certain I've seen people, seen guys doing like a mankini stream and their nips are out and they don't get banned. Or I've seen guys stream without their shirts on, they don't get banned, even though their nips are showing, that kind of stuff. So, like, it's one rule for one rule for another. Why sexualize a female's nipples or breasts or whatever? You can have as much skin as you want showing, providing you don't show the nipple. So I don't feel I don't feel it's equal in that position. Don't get me wrong, I'm a lover of boobs, but if you're gonna ban a woman for showing her nipples on stream, do it for a man, or don't do it for either. You can't sort of pick sides. Just because women's breasts are over-sexualized, I don't think it should be a bannable offense, especially when it's in something like so innocent like that. Don't get me wrong, I've seen streamers like with loose-fitting shorts, with no underwear on, purposefully bending over or moving their legs in such a way that it exposes a lip. And like you can see Homer Simpson's mouth just peeking out of their shorts, you know? Like, but
Hi, Mark.
but like that, I can understand. Yeah, totally. But as far as that goes, I don't think, I just find the people who do that kind of stuff is they have a pretty sad life. Let's be honest.
It's just absolutely disgusting and
It is.
shows what a vile person that is. And
And Positive
well,
is such a lovely person too. She's amazing.
I I say that it's a really unfortunate accident that he managed to do all that without meaning to.
Yeah, like
Like
fact that they said they clipped it by accident, but yet they clipped it, downloaded it, uploaded it to places,
it's like when
took
you
screenshots of
accidentally
it.
it's like when you accidentally cheat on your wife or something. Like, oh, I didn't mean to slip and fall and stick my dick in her. Like that
Exactly,
was just
yeah.
an accident. Like, fucker, come on.
It's kind of like the magic bullet theory from the JFK assassination, right? Where the bullet just went all different directions. It's kind of like your pee. Oh no, my sausage is just like unzipping itself. Oh no, it's unzipped the woman. Oh no, it's just gone inside her. Like no, it doesn't happen.
Have you seen the TikTok of that when they're going out for the date and the guy slips on the pencil?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, I need to find that for you. So they do it as a guy, him and his missus are dressed up to go out for a date,
Yeah.
and he steps on a pencil, slips and falls over,
Oh
hits his
yes.
head on the sofa where his headphones are, and his headphones get stuck to his head.
Yeah.
He stumbles backwards, accidentally kicks the on button of his Xbox with his toe,
Yeah, I've seen stuff like
and
that. Yeah.
falls in his gaming chair, and he's like, "Ah, what an accident.
Yeah.
I'm in a
I,
game now."
yeah, I've seen loads of things like that. They're fantastic. They're really cool.
Uh, it really tickled me, that did.
uh,
Yeah,
the last thing that I wanted to talk about with you, and I know you're not too much into fighting and stuff, and you don't keep up to date with this kind
yeah,
of stuff, mainly because of work as well. But
yeah.
the YouTuber boxing stuff. Now, I would love to do this. I would happily get in the ring, like because it's just banter, and I'm one of these weird people that is I don't like inflicting pain on people,
Would
but
you
I
prefer
like.
to be round 1 or round 3?
Uh, I'm confused. What?
Would you prefer to be round 1 or, like, round 2, round what would be your favorite round to be?
Um, I'd say round 2 or 3. I'd say round 3 is a good sort of round because round 1 or 2 you're still finding people out. You're finding how their feints, they like how their feet are working to like just.
Oh, oh,
What do you mean?
you were on about actually boxing. I thought you were gonna be a ring girl.
Fuck off, friend. I don't mind.
I've got you down for round 2 ring girl now, come
Well,
on.
I'll be around two. I'll be around two, Ringo. Jeez. But no, in all seriousness, like I'm not one for hurting people. I don't know what it is. I'm one of these weird people that get like an adrenaline boost, and like I'm a thrill seeker. I love the excitement of it, the potentiality of like I don't know, hurting yourself or like something possibly like jumping out of a plane. Really fucking excites me. Jumping off of
Mm,
a cliff, like with like free falling, and then all of a sudden you just throw your parachute out or whatever, wherever. I can't remember what it's called. That kind of thing excites me. Like I remember when I was younger, I'd like you remember Manhunt, right? You remember playing that?
yeah.
So I used to play that. It's like essentially for those of you who don't know, you have a number or you can make up a number or whatever. So there's people that have to be like the chaser and then the people that are being the chased. So whenever you find someone, you just have to beat the shit into them to get their number out of them. And if they give up their number, uh, you join the chasers and then you chase the rest of the people and then it goes on until nobody's left. It's kind of like zombies, I guess, called
Yeah.
zombies. And essentially, I was always the last person that got caught because not only I was bullied in school, like in primary school, so I knew how to run fucking fast and I had stamina to the nines. But in
Had.
yeah, had that's why I said had. Uh, so in comprehensive school, when we used to do it, I was always the last one alive. Not because I was on the rugby team for this reason as well. Not because I could run fast, nobody could catch me, or I had more stamina than anyone. The fact that I just loved, I don't know, the thrill of someone just punching me in the face or something or kicking me, like I don't know, it just like give me more drive to like push forward and carry on. I think this sort of because I have a very high pain threshold. So if something hurts me, it bloody hurts. And it's the same with rugby. Like the thrill of rugby wasn't like running with the ball, scoring the tries, that kind of stuff. With me was tackling people or getting tackled. Like if
Yeah.
somebody could take me down, like I'd be like, holy shit, good job, good fucking job, you know. But usually it'd take like 2, 3, maybe 4 people. But it was strange. I was so quick I could dart past them, but it was just a thrill for me. So doing YouTube boxing or Twitch boxing, I would definitely be down for it for 2 reasons. One, the thrill of it, but 2, I will get in shape again. Like, believe it or not, Ryan, I used to have abs. Yeah. I had abs, plural.
What you do? Buy them off Amazon.
No, I just lived on tuna pasta and custard creams all my life. And I used to skateboard.
So
I
what you're
used,
saying is it's Queen's fault.
yeah, pretty much 100%. Like, no,
Queen.
to be fair, what happened was I used to skateboard a lot. I used to play rugby, football, cricket. Every sport I played, I was in the athletics team and stuff. And after I left school, obviously I wasn't doing all of that, but I was skating most of the time. And I had an injury where I broke my lower back, my coccyx, my tailbone, whichever you want to call it, and I couldn't walk. So essentially, my metabolism was like super burning everything. So I was stick thing anyway. So it got to a point where I developed a fear of skateboarding after that. I didn't want to skate because of the injury, how bad it was and how it made me feel. So I didn't skate after that. But I still ate the same because I was with Queen. Like she was feeding me good. Like she was keeping my belly full and my balls empty. Yeah. And so I was still eating loads, and she used to cook cakes. She used to bake all the time. She used to cook banging meals, and just fantastic. So I started to put on the weights in my 20s. Like as soon as I hit like 20, like.
Are you gonna miss Queen?
What?
Are you gonna miss Queen when she runs off with Raisin?
No, because she's not gonna run off with him. Rude, man. But yeah.
I suppose she'd be flying off, wouldn't she? Private jet.
But yeah, the fun thing is like, I was teaching Kira how to fight and stuff, and we was doing MMA and stuff like that, and it just reignited that thing. And like this whole YouTube boxing thing came along, and I was like, holy shit, I really want to get into this. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to get on a card because I'm a nobody, essentially. Like I don't have millions of subscribers.
I'm just picturing you now getting into YouTube boxing, but like from the complete lower ranks and doing calling back here to The Simpsons, the Homer Simpson boxing style thing, where you just start off as a no one fighting these bums.
And just go up against Jake Paul and just fucking take every shot he's got.
They just get beat the shit out of until they run out of stamina, and you just push them over.
The thing is, I could possibly do that to an extent.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
it don't quite work like that with boxing, really.
No, I know. Like I would block my head and stuff, yeah, but like body shots, like I've got a thick body.
Yeah,
like,
boy, he's thick.
Like, don't get me wrong, my belly's a bit big, but the rest of my body is muscular. Especially my legs. My legs haven't lost it from skateboarding, and I noticed that when I started skateboarding again. My God, my legs are like tree trunks. It's insane. They've just gone like rocks again. But as far as boxing goes, I feel it's just my stamina. Like stamina and technique, obviously. Technique is a big thing. Like you can't just like switch on and off boxing, especially if you haven't been trained properly. I'm not that naive to think that. But I think if I get in shape regards to stamina, because like when I used to train Kira, I used to let her just like beat the shit out of me just so she can get used to it, and then I'd give her some back. So she'd not be used to like just giving it. So she'd also just receive a few blows too and stuff. And she just thrived. I can guarantee you if she carried on, she could have gone to boxing or MMA easily. But doing that, it just made me want it even more. But to get on the cards, like you said, I would have to become somewhat relevant in YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. And I would love to do it. Hell, I just
set up like a little roulette wheel, like just call out a random YouTuber and be like, I want to fight you.
Dude, I'd honestly fight KSI, Alex Wasabi, Gabe McBroom, Deji, FuziTube, which is on this fight coming up. And I would fight any of them. Like, win or lose, I wouldn't care. I'd just do it for the experience. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to do it.
What
Like
do you think on
Even Joe
the Jake
Weller,
Paul Fury fight?
Jake Paul Fury. Like this is kind of like for me. This is the YouTube box, or not YouTube, because it's like he's professional now, right? Like
Oh yeah.
he can't be. Don't think I can class Jake Paul as a YouTube boxer anymore. Not at all. Like he hasn't fought a professional boxer, granted, but
That's the only reason I don't class him as a professional
yeah,
boxer.
he's got a
He
license
gets
and
to ring with a
everything.
boxer, give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So Jake
like
Paul versus Fury. Allegedly, Tyson has ties to the Irish mafia. There's something to do with the Fury family and stuff being tied to someone else or known fugitives or whatever. Like, didn't their dad like rip out someone's eye from their socket or something, and that's why he's barred from America? Like, he can't go to
probably.
something along those lines. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. So the fact that weird thing is he was in California the other week as well. I think it was California, like, which is really weird. Like he's gone back home and now he can't come back to the US. It's strange. But knowing that fact, and if he knew that he wanted his family by his side, they should have done it in Dubai. They should have done it in America, in the UK. They should have done it in Russia. They should have done it in any other country but the US, so his family could be by his side. Because that's a piss poor excuse that Tommy is running. Like, I think it's going to be a close fight. Don't get me wrong, Tommy has a lot of weaknesses, which you can probably exploit. I don't think he's a particularly fantastic boxer, same as Jake Paul. But at the same time, like, they're good boxers. It's weird. Like, they've got the fundamentals down. Jake has his power. Tommy is a bit lackluster in his defense. I think it's his right hand he keeps dropping all the time, and he constantly gets hit by a left hook. Like, he needs to get, like, he's a forward attacking boxer, but then he's very sloppy with it as well. Like, it'll be an interesting fight if Jake catches Tommy with one of his hooks. Like, it's lights out for Tommy. But if Tommy can push forward on Jake and keep the pressure on him like he's done in his previous fights, I think that he will outgas Jake, and he'll win. It possibly be by points, but either way, it's not a win-win for Tommy. It's a win-win for Jake, because I don't.
I don't know. I think Jake's got to the point now though where he's talked so much shit about being such a good boxer and all the rest of it. If he does get beat by Tommy Fury, who when he fought on the Tyson Fury undercard, to me just looked bang average as a boxer. Like if he goes out and loses to Tommy Fury, I think he loses all credibility
100%.
as a boxer.
That's
So I
what
don't
this
think
goes
it's
through.
quite cut and dry of like it's a win-win for Jake. I
I
think it's a win-win for Tommy more than anything.
I don't see. Like, have you seen the people that Tommy's fought? I think it's like 150, 200 plus loses between all of his opponents.
Mm.
It's awful. But with Jake,
It's not great for Tommy, but if Tommy goes out and loses, he hasn't exactly got a massive boxing reputation anyway.
he hasn't. But
He he
his
gets a
dad have also
paycheck.
said he's disowning him if he loses. Like, he's losing the Fury name if he loses, and his
Yeah,
boxing career is over.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's a weird one.
Like,
What I have just come across though, did you know that Logan Paul's signed up with the WWE?
yes,
He
which
signed a contract.
he
That's
has.
insane.
It's madness, and
So
that's fantastic. Like, in all fairness, I don't watch the WWE, but the fact that someone from, like, they've opened, like, sort of the gateway, really, like this whole YouTube boxing thing that they've done, like KSI and Joe Weller started this X amount of years ago. They started this whole YouTube boxing thing. It escalated to be on, like, mainstream sort of thing. Jake Paul's gone on to do what Jake Paul's doing. KSI and Logan has become best friends, and, like, they've released a drink. They've done this, that, and the other together. They're on shows and stuff. And then Logan's, like, gone to a guest star a few times on WWE, and now he's actually signed a contract. Like, this entire thing with opening the floodgates of YouTube content creation and then expanding to other sort of mainstream
yeah,
media
it's
outlets.
good for the
It's
industry, put it
fantastic.
that way.
Yeah, like, he apparently he's done very well, like, in his other guest appearances.
Mm.
So
Well, he was from by all accounts he was a really good actual wrestler in high school and stuff as well, and he's not a small guy,
no, he's
so
huge.
it'd
Like,
be
he's a big
interesting.
dude. But yeah,
I seen
he's
someone
apparently
calling
champion or
for,
something.
I seen someone calling for, Clash at the Castle. Have you seen that? The WWE's coming to Cardiff.
Oh, I haven't, no.
So WWE's are coming to, I think it's Cardiff, or they've announced they were coming to the UK anyway for a live show, and they're saying they want, uh, fucking, oh, what are they called?
Amateur wrestlers?
No,
I'm not
2v2s.
tag teams.
Tag teams.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ, I could not pull that out of my head then. Jesus Christ. Tag
Jesus.
team match, Tyson Fury and Tommy Fury versus Logan and Jake Paul.
Yeah, that would be
That would be
pretty.
hilarious.
I just can't help like, but I can't take Tommy seriously. I just
No,
can't.
Tyson's a different beast.
Tyson's a different beast, yeah. Like the fact that he went on Love Island as well. Like he's a bit of a pretty boy. Don't get me wrong. He's a good looking lad.
How they come from the same family, I don't know.
But
Tyson Fury looks like the fucking the Cyclops from Hercules. Like,
it's just madness. Like Tommy's not. He's more of a model than a boxer.
yeah,
Like if he's been around boxing his entire life, and he can't spark out these people that have like 100+ losses between them, or 200, whatever it was. If he can't knock them out, he's just like below average of a boxer.
mm,
Like, and if I was his dad, I would not be managing his career. Like, if he can't knock these people out, I wouldn't.
yeah.
Like, but you can argue the same for Jake. He hasn't fought a boxer. Like, I can understand Ben Askren. Like, I could have probably took out Ben Askren with like my arms behind my back, you know, or like at least
But
once, so I
who's
could at least punch him.
he's fought these UFC guys, but like
Dude, Tyrone
they're
Woodley.
not. That was. I'm sorry. That was the biggest dive I've ever seen in my life.
It wasn't a dive. Like he
Um,
actually knocked him out, but I, as much as it
not,
could have been
not so much that he didn't knock him out, but he let him.
like Tyrone Woodley is a hard puncher. He could have won that first fight, no question asked. For some reason, he had Jake on the ropes, which for some reason didn't count as a knockdown, which is absolutely fucking barbaric. Like he literally got held up by the ropes. But if Tyson Fury wasn't so fucking hesitant like he was in the UFC, he could have capitalized on that. Just one more punch and Jake would have been out. One more punch, that's all it took. But he was just there holding his guard as if like Jake was coming at him. That was a load of fucking bullshit. So regardless whether or not that was like fixed, I don't believe it was fixed. But the second fight,
Well, there was rumors in the contract that he wasn't allowed to knock Jake Paul out.
yeah, there's rumors like that, but surely like contracts like that fixing fights, because people would have bet that Tyrone would have knocked him out. So if he was in the contract, he should have made all those bets null and void. So that I kind of feel that that's a load of bullshit. But at the same time, looking at the footage from the second fight, it does kind of look like he gives him like a nod to drop his guard, kind of thing. But
Not
at
even, not
but at
even
the same,
just that.
dude, it
Just
was a good right hook. Like it was a
it
cracking right
was,
hook.
but an experienced fighter like Woodley should never be dropping his guard in that situation.
Two things.
That was
He
never a
fought in UFC.
situation.
UFC is
Yeah,
different to
UFC,
boxing,
no, UFC's even worse, if anything.
but it was a good
Jesus
feint.
Christ, you drop your guard for a second in UFC and you're on your ass with someone sat on your chest punching you in the jaw.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was a very good feint by Jake. I've got to give it to him. It was a good feint. Like it looked as if he was going to the body on every single angle, and it's not as if he's unknown to do that. He is known to switch his angles up. He's known to go to the body at places and then come back up top. And I think that's because he done that throughout the fight. He feinted it or he faked it, and then he just come with this overbearing fucking right hand, clock him on the jaw, and just sparked him out. I think if it was possibly genuine, maybe or maybe not. Like he got paid to take the drop, but like Tyrone hadn't even trained properly. Like he was on a film when he got the call to do the fight.
Yeah.
He claims that he was fighting all the time, or he's training all the time, but he wasn't. He was actually like doing a film watching
watching it over and over again, something doesn't sit right with me. The fact that the Jake Paul nod just beforehand, how easily he drops his guard completely without throwing a punch. Like,
And without pivoting or like moving, like
yeah,
I can understand it. Like, don't get me wrong, I can understand it, but unless they somehow did something in perfect secrecy where nobody knew apart from those two.
that's not hard though.
Well, to be fair, the best part about those fights was the back and forth they had in the press conferences. It's like one of them, they were just like, and it just was not, it's the most least serious press conference I've ever seen. And
Yeah.
they just started talking, and then Tyrone just looks to the side like, why the fuck the moon out? The moon is so big.
I'm
And
I'm very curious to see if Jake will end up fighting Tyson, because that was rumored,
no,
and
like, no,
Mike's even said himself that he would do it.
like, it wouldn't happen. Like, it genuinely wouldn't. Like, all, dude,
I think he
Deontay,
kills.
like, he would murder him. Like,
I
he
think
would,
he kills Paul.
Tyson would have to come down so much weight, it would either kill him or he would literally be a walking skeleton like you see in the doctor's
No,
office.
no, no, not Fury.
What do you mean?
Jake Paul was supposed to be in talks with Mike Tyson for a
Oh,
fight.
Mike Tyson. Sorry, I thought you meant Tyson
Yeah,
Fury. Oh,
no,
Mike
Mike.
Tyson would destroy him. But the thing is, Mike Tyson is friends with Jake
No, but
because,
he has also said, like he said, he likes Jake. He thinks he's a good boxer. But he also said, I would get in the ring with him and I would end him.
yeah, he probably would. But at the same time, you've got to think that his kids used to like him. Whether or not they still do is another story. But essentially, he said before that he wouldn't want to hurt Jake because of his daughters liking him or his kids liking him, whoever it was. So that's the thing.
I know, but Jake wants to come to him for a fight.
Oh, I'd
Please
do
do.
it, dude. I'd fight
Please
Mike.
do.
I'd same as I'd fight what's his face, Mayweather. 100%. Like I'd do it for the bag, like and for the
Yeah.
experience. Like, and I wouldn't
Oh,
do what
yeah.
Logan Paul did. I wouldn't just like take the offer and just like not get paid. um, but I would do it just to be like, yo, I got knocked the fuck out by Mike Tyson. Like,
Yeah.
I might be in my spirit form because the guy's killed me, but but at the same time,
Did you see him with the shit with the plane?
yes, like they weren't
Like,
particularly hard punches or nothing either. But the guy was like off his face drunk.
yeah.
But
It
like, you
was like
don't do that
they
to Mike
tried to do
Tyson.
it to get clout against Mike Tyson, and the amount of people who are like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Exactly, dude. Like, I would have reacted exactly the same if I was Mike. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you just don't go up to someone. He asked you politely multiple times to be like, yo, stop. No. But because the drinks takes over and whatever, and then you just get slapped.
But the thing is, as well, it was reported afterwards that they'd actually spoke to Mike before getting on the plane, or like before this was being filmed, and like he sat and talked to them for a little bit and took photos and stuff as well,
Yeah.
and then
Like,
he just carried on,
yeah, they
and it
carried
was
on.
like, you dumbass, you absolute
You
dumbass,
just
play
wouldn't do
stupid
that.
games, win stupid prizes.
It's just daft.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
But quickly back to the fights a second, because we deviated quite a lot then. So KSI versus Alex Wasabi. Alex Wasabi beat Deji.
yeah,
Deji could have beat Alex, no problem. He was like, Deji did very good. He just didn't throw, but he could have
yeah,
beat him, no problem. Especially what happened within the fight, like with somebody coming on, like somebody the whole event was just trash. It was strange. Like somebody came up from the crowd, jumped in the ring, and like, I don't know, was threatening the people in the ring or something, trying to fight them or something like that. And then he literally got thrown out of the ring. It was fantastic. It was awesome. But Alex Wasabi loses against KSI. Like, Alex Wasabi got knocked up by FuziTube. Yeah, Alex has come a long way. Alex has probably trained with Jake Paul in his camp, so he's like got even better again. But I think KSI's mentality is kind of like my own. Like when you've got something in your head that you're going to do, you do it, and you put everything into it. And seeing his recent body change, he has put fucking the kitchen sink into it, 100%. Jake versus Fury, if it goes ahead, Jake Paul, easily. I don't think, like, they're both like average boxers, but Jake is a lot better than Fury, in my opinion.
I haven't seen enough of both of them to decide. I think it could go either way though.
Yeah, Jake's got his weaknesses, Fury's got his weaknesses, but I do see Jake winning because of his raw power, and they're training him for that power. But then there's Tommy Fury, his defense, like unless he's moving forward, his defense is shit.
Yeah.
Like he can't defend against Jake's right hand. If he can set that right hand up and hit him with it, that is the only way. If he keeps going forward and keeps pressuring Drake, unless Jake has learned how to hit his hook or his right hand going backwards, like Deontay Wilder should have been able to do, 100% Jake is going to win. Austin McBroom versus Big Gibber. I've got Big Gibber. McBroom is just, he struggled against, well, mind you, they were both pretty bad. Bryce Hall and Austin McBroom, like, he didn't do well. He was like throwing double punches from what I remember, and like it was just, you know, when you see like you're in junior school or something and like the two people like have a fight and just their arms are everywhere and whatnot, but the one person gets the better of the other and they think that they're a fucking god. That's pretty much how I recall that fight. So Gibb should,
I played football. Sorry, go on.
No, it's fine. Gibb should absolutely dominate Austin McBroom, no questions asked. Like, Gibb is an animal. Like, Gibb could have stopped Jake, no problem. But for some reason, his squat button was sticky in the fight that he had against Jake, and he was just like squatting all the time. And Jake didn't even knock him out. It was just a technicality that he was ducking to, because Jake is a lot taller than him. Gibb was just like squatting down to get out with the way of his punches, but he was doing it so often and so deep that all you needed to do was just poke him in the head and he would have fallen over because his balance was that off. And that's essentially what happened. It was a technicality that that's what happened. It was essentially like taking a knee. He took a knee 3 times and then match was over pretty much. So Gibb destroys McBroom easy. And Deji versus Fuzi Tube. Fuzi is looking really ripped. If he's taking it seriously or not, Fuzi could destroy Deji, but it all depends, because the last fight that I saw Fuzi in, he was like a human punching bag. Like his guard was barely up. His whole face was busted up. I think he was against Slim. But yeah, like if he boxes like that, like Deji's gonna win. But if Deji pulls his finger out, like Deji should have it. So that's my take on it, because Deji is a good boxer when he does box properly, and when he puts the effort in. It's just getting him to put that effort in. Like he needs to have a good shake of his head and just like get it sorted.
Yeah, it's definitely there's some interesting fights out there, that's for sure.
There is, yeah.
I was saying, I played football with a guy years ago, and he was going out after football for a night out, and it started kicking off. Got a bit rowdy as it does on Saturday Parks football, and this guy just come running at him like to start this fight with him basically, and he just put his hand out as far as he could and started swinging his other hand doing a windmill, and all you could hear is like, "If you're gonna hit me, just not the face, I'm going out tonight." He's swinging this windmill punch. It was in stitchy.
Dude, if somebody does that in a fight to me, all that comes to my head was helicopter, helicopter. That's all I would be able to see and do, and I wouldn't be able to fight. I'd just be there pissing myself laughing just saying that.
The thing, like, the guy was a beast as well. Like, he went into like MMA fighting and all that. He was a good fighter.
Yeah.
But he just like a hit in the face.
Oh God. Jesus. So streamer of the week, my friends.
Streamer of the week. Who have we got?
We have this little lady, shall we say, called...
Oh, lady.
Yeah, it's a lady. She's very polite, very kind. She never speaks ill of anyone. She's always very clean-minded and PG friendly. It's Dame Sempiternal. No,
I'll try that again.
Is it Sempiternal? It is, yeah, but she's not PG friendly.
everything else was wrong.
No, I know. It
No,
was the build-up.
we love Dame.
Yeah, Dame's
I
fantastic.
know she's a fantastic artist. She does a lot of artwork on her streams and stuff as well.
She does tarot reading, or used to at least. She
But she
does.
is just she's a really interesting person to talk to and have a conversation with.
She is. She's super nice. She does have some things going on at the moment, which are quite private. But she's honestly, she's got the time for anyone. Like, she's absolutely phenomenal. She's a great friend. She's a great content creator. You guys should check her out. The links will be in the description on YouTube and in the podcast details, because I finally found a way to actually put the details on there.
Hey, we're learning.
We're learning. We're getting more professional by the day. But yeah, she's awesome. She streams a lot of Dead by Daylight. She does a lot of variety streams. She does viewer games. Like, she's just an awesome person. Like, if you go in there, it's feel good vibes all the time, and it's just on. I've known her for quite a while, and it's just awesome. Like, very, very much one of the best relationships or friendships that I've had since starting Twitch. She came from Mixer. I think she was either a Mixer partner or very, very close to being a Mixer partner. She had a huge audience.
No, she was partnered.
She was, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had a huge audience. And when Mixer shut down, she came to Twitch, and now she's absolutely slapping it on Twitch. She's doing absolutely fucking amazing. So, Dame,
No,
if you actually do listen to this, I love you. You're awesome, and keep being you. You're amazing.
always. I think that's all we've got time for this week, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. It's a bloody lovely day outside too.
It is indeed. I'm not going to see much of it because it's Sunday and I don't want to get dressed. But
well, I think I'm going out for a walk after we finish this. I'm going to Cardiff Bay, so
oh, nice.
Have a nice little walk down there. Hopefully, you're welcome to join in your pajamas.
Take some pictures and send them to me, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, to make sure that you. This is what you missed.
Yeah. But I think that's all from us then, gamers, and thank you very much for listening. As always, the likes, subscribes, 5-star reviews only, please.
Yeah. Anything else will get deleted.
Yeah.
Keep listening, gamers.
Always keep listening, and bye-bye.
Bye.